And I know your relationships are never meant to last. It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Moving on, moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself, there's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on.
Yeah, I'm broken, the door is closing. Wanna be a part of something more than this. I've lost control of it. Oh, seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You'll see it through. You see it through, yeah. You see it through. You see it through. We gonna live forever, forever. The afterlife. We gonna live forever, forever. The talking to myself and I can't focus. Yeah, I'm broken, the door is closing. Wanna be a part of something more than this. I've lost control of it. Oh, seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You see it
Pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. And we just slow down. For you and I were safe and We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we just slow waste another day. I'm on my display. You say we need a change, and feel that you mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, it's not like we need them.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side, no. Have me by your side when the sun sets. I hope you'll still want me, I hope you'll still need me a million years from now. The seasons are changing, the nights ever fading. It's time we left the ground. Let's leave for an eternity. Sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. Gotta show you love and keeps me high. Keeps me high.
Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high, keeps me high.
days pass us by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal. Sometimes I feel that my love's run out. When things don't go to plan, I kinda lose my mind. I hope it's real, this life comes around. Just keep your faith and search for the fountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Happier tonight. Can't be waiting for you in the morning. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight.
Voices going through my head. These voices telling me what I said about you, about us and what we do. I will get your heart
Everybody, and welcome. I know the week this time, it's because it's the last one. So this is our final game of the season where we have Nova Shadow going up against Dorado Gaming. I think we've seen this matchup before, just like last week's matchup, and it was a banger last time. Dorado went on top 2-0 last time, so maybe Nova has the comeback.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it is Immortal. We always have bangers over here, right? I mean, a lot of them tend to be 2-0 bangers, but bangers nonetheless. Either way, we do have the Tristana and the Shinzao already taken off the table by Novasphere, which, you know, just kind of goes to show, hey, I don't really care about exactly what the super ultra meta picks are right now. I mean, we might see a Smolder ban here from Dorado, but if we don't, then that just kind of continues the same trend that I've seen across, you know, not just Immortal, but also Conqueror, right? Where teams are so unwilling to pick Smolder. They are so willing to ban it, except for the teams where it's like, nobody plays Smolder. You know what? Immediately making me a liar. Anyway, Novasphere is going to be picking up that Smolder already. I mean, so much presence in the pick bans here, and I mean, Jinx as the counter pick, definitely an interesting choice here. Fight scaling with scaling. I mean, you got the Karma on top of that. You know, mid lane Karma is still very strong. I would be very surprised to see that in the bot lane though.
Yeah, Jinx is probably the only pick here to go against the Smolder in terms of scaling, because, well, she basically can just counter his true damage with getting a single assist in a team fight, and then she just can do more damage. Nico will be picked up. Finally, the champion gets played, is not banned because of having 18 million bucks, because that should totally be a League of Legends champion at this point. And
small indie company.
Jimothy with the Wukong. Now, we've had some interesting Wukongs in the past. I'm going to be excited to see how this one fares up against the Vi. And I still don't think that they're going to show where this Karma's going just yet.
I mean, I think we're all expecting this Karma to go into that mid lane. If you're taking that Jinx really early, right, you're opening her up to things like the Vi, things like the Nocturne, very easy point and click disruption tools that'll make her life a living hell. And with the Nico follow-up, you can't just take Tahm Kench in order to make things work out. At this point, I think that Milio has to be looked at here. So, you know, the Gwen and Fiora taken off the table by Novasphere. They know for a fact they want their top laner to thrive here, especially after Doga have taken Jax and Mordekaiser off the table. So right here, I do think that Doga just take their mid laner, because you already know where Nico's probably going. I doubt it's going to be a Nico support, and you save that top lane counter pick for the end here. All right, so it is going to be the support, so you know that does lock in the mid lane Karma, and I don't know about the Rel pick, right?
I still, you know, this league, you know, I'm still holding. I think they could put Wukong top Rel jungle. It could be a thing.
I mean, it definitely
I don't think that they will. I don't think that they will. All right.
I hope they do.
I'm getting a little creative here. So, but
I mean, I honestly hope they do.
I would not play Wukong against an Udyr. Nope, I would not do that.
I don't know. I mean, like, I hope to God that they've got some kind of answer here because I do not like the Rel pick here. Yes, if you do get an in, okay, all right, never mind. We are full indexing in on Doga striking first. Right, so Novasphere with the Braum pickup, I honestly like a lot, right? You know, it's designed to shut down any sort of melee engagers, shut down a lot of follow-up, and Doga said, you know what? We are just going to go balls to the walls, all in, right? Just throw everything and the kitchen sink at them. As long as we can get one kill, then we can get Kiona just resetting on the Jinx. You know, he'll just be able to run straight through that team. But Novasphere have such a very, very scary comp, right? It scales well. It has a very simple go button. As long as everyone's got hands, you can definitely use them.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm very scared because we have a very brawly comp coming out of Doga, and there is a Pot Blossom on the other side of the field. So all Nico really has to do is sit inside of her team and denies the entire engage. But, you know, we have a Smolder on the other side, and you know what loves Smolder the most? Pro comps!
Yeah, I mean, ProComp's very, very useful tool, allows you to figure out what the best pick is for your team, for your play style, what you can deny from the enemy team. It's phenomenal, and they've been giving us a lot of help, so, you know, make sure to show them some love. And either way, you know, ProComp aside, we'll have to see how these compositions play out on the Rift, right? I'm super excited to see how things do work out. I mean, Udyr just constantly going to be tanky up in that top lane. Kennen, just one of those picks we don't see that often, but when Kennen gets a chance to play the game, God, that champion's so much fun to see. So,
we all love
once we're on Summoner's Rift, we'll see how things do work out.
Gotta say, you know, we all love Yordles.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Yordles, anybody play Bandotale?
No, I have not, actually.
I actually really wanted to play it. I really did want to play it, but I ended up not buying it. I bought, probably a Valorant skin, if I'm being honest.
I feel that, I mean, but either way, we're going to be getting right into the match here, as this isn't exactly a standard 5-point from the team. You know, Haruki just going to be walking down into that bot lane, making sure that there's no shenanigans over there, right? Gets that early ward down. I actually like that a lot here for the Smolder, but I mean, not having this 80 carry ward early might be a little bit of trouble. But into Jinx, who can constantly just get those long-range autos off, poke you down on repeat, and then use the bush to drop aggro, I actually do think that that ward gets so much value.
Now, I know Smolder is Smolder and does a ton of damage, but is there really a reason? Like, why would you take Ghost or Cleanse over Ghost here into this composition that Doga has? Because they have a lot of stun lockups.
I mean, honestly, with how much damage, right? I mean, they do have a decent bit of stun, but with how much damage they have, right? Sometimes if you get locked up, the cleanse just is not enough, right? You just want the ghost so that way, if you do get locked up with damage, the enemy team's just too far away to actually follow up. So just denying any sort of follow-up is really, really nice there. I mean, kiting is always going to be helpful. There's a reason why we've been seeing so much Swifty boots across the entire Rift lately. It's because movement speed as a stat is just such a good tool.
Yeah, I mean, can't argue with being able to move faster, so, you know, being able to have the quickness is very broken, but we're going to see both these junglers having somewhat of a mirrored clear here, so they're going to be respectively hitting their opposite sides. The Shattering Strike's going to find Haruki, but nothing really is going to come up with that. Both of these bot laners are just going to be poking each other left, right, and center, trying to get a little bit of chip damage off for those wave priorities. I'm really looking at this top lane matchup, Udyr versus Kennen. Both of these champs have such all-in potential, and it looks like we have Blue Shift prioritizing the top side as well. This could be a definite banger of an action top lane, which we never ever get.
Yeah, and if you look into that top jungle here, you can actually see Jimothy looking to fight Blue Shift here all the way in.
I like this invade. You know, Jimothy can have a little bit of an advantage over the Vi early on, but it's got to be careful because Indalecio comes in with a nice root Q, and it's going to be Bounty Hunter a little bit late to the fight there. They can pull down Rocket to make it a little bit of a 3v2, but he would lose out so much trying to get that wave under tower if they did that.
Yeah, meanwhile, bot lane just going to trade back and forth again and again. Nothing too crazy going on down here. Just constant damage output between the two. Honestly, early game Smolder and Jinx, there's not really too much you expect to see outside of little pokes here and there. And while the poke doesn't necessarily mean too much damage, Rel has to be pretty careful, right? You just can't be eating that damage for free because, you know, once the Smolder gets those stacks, it's going to be so much bigger of an issue than the damage itself.
Now, I like Braum. I'm telling you, when Braum is hard meta, I'm hitting Masters, 100%. Like, this is just happening. Yeah. It's just happening, right? You know, my little mustache boy with a shield. But we will be approaching the first dragon here. It's a Hex tech up, and, you know, we're going to have those awesome Void Grubs on the other side. And I'm looking at how Rocket is going to play for this because he's got a bot side advantage and wants to potentially shut down a little bit of an objective trade-off here because Jimothy is already in the bot side with 45 seconds until this dragon. They're arguably going to opt to play for that objective first. If the Shattering Strike's going to find Haruki, the shield does come up a little bit afterward. It's a good stun onto Noon Earth. Blue Shift is going to be in the area as well. Jimothy might be a little bit late to a bit of a counter gank here. Both of the members of Doga's bot side are half HP. So, but yeah, I want to see Rocket try and shove this wave out soon so he can just roam down and just try to go for that objective trade-off, you know, little counter.
Maybe that might be the play here, but you know, without the level 6 could be a little bit spooky here. But speaking of spooky, a little bit of trades here and there, trying to soften each other up here. But Rocket right now has a wave in a really good position. You know, has forced the back from Twin Flame. You know, mana versus manaless champions is a tale as old as time, right? But honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Cole picked up if Rocket does opt for the early back here, as there's just not too much that the Udyr can do to threaten the cannon. So a little bit of that early buy. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that he didn't start the Cole, but either way, just going to be picking up those Sork boots, which does tell me that we might be seeing Rocket teleporting into an early drag fight, right? Because that magic pen is so much more important now that you're level 6.
Well, the dragon is gone. Jimothy has just been taking that the entire time. I was going to mention Blue Shift was hovering around that bot side lane bush there right in front of the Krugs. Just a little bit too long, in my opinion. Literally didn't have quickness on the decision making there. It was looking for a bot side gank to go into the dragon. And I think Jimothy was able to clear up his entire blue side and move into the dragon with Kiona and Noon Earth having that wave power for so long. So that was basically going to be a free objective. Now, it should be noted, now that the Udyr is gone, and, you know, as it pops up on the map that the Void Grubs are being traded off, we see Jimothy looks for some sort of counter jungling in the diagonal, but unable to find much of anything.
One thing I also do want to note, that first tower play did not get picked up for the side of Doga here. That is, you know, 125 gold going to be thrown straight into the gutter there. And Void Grubs are not on the side of Doga, so it's going to be a little bit harder for them to be picking up this extra gold. But so much gold has already been picked up here. I mean, a full-on Noon Quiver versus the Swifties is definitely one of the places you want to be here, but you can see right here how much value that move speed really does give, right? Just like how we were talking about earlier. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it's just tier 2 boots into tier 2 boots. I mean, it might as well be early League of Legends. We're going to fight in the bot lane.
Oh, yeah, we definitely do. Will they be able to find a kill, though? Nope. You know, Braum has that good old dash ability. Rocket going to be committing ultimate. Feels like he has enough damage to pick off Twin Flame. Those Sork shoes coming heavily in handy. And it's going to force this Udyr nearly out of tower. And this should be free for Rocket, who still has a TP of their own. And the Udyr has already used theirs. It's not looking good for your top side if you are Nova Shadow.
Yeah, Nova Shadow in a little bit of trouble here, but right here, you see Jimothy just around the corner, knows that he has the opportunity to walk into that top side, but there are nothing to take for the Wukong here, which also tells you, hey, we know Vi is in her bot side. Bot lane, you have to start playing safe, right? There's so much information that's gained from that one exchange here that Slicing Maelstrom might not have turned into kills, but it turned into a huge boon for the side of Doga.
Now we see pings coming out on the red buff of Blue Shift at proximity to think that they have spotted this Vi somehow on a ward, but they are going to know she's on the rafters now. And this may go for some sort of bot dive because they know that they're going to be ganking towards the top side. So, or she's going to be rotating towards the top side. So they could look for some sort of turret dive if they really want to get a bot lane advantage here soon. But at this, there's no real risk, or there's no real reward to doing it. Mainly just all risk, unless you really want to get your Jinx ahead that early. I mean, she's already got the Noon Quiver online, already has a CS lead, so I just leave her to her own accords at this point. But we see Jimothy starting to come down anyway.
Yeah, meanwhile, those Swifties are doing so much work for Haruki. I mean, like, it's just constant dodges from this Smolder, just with the smallest of margins, and that extra move speed just seems to really be coming into play. I haven't seen a skill shot land onto the Smolder in a decent bit. It's just been auto attacks, which is, you know, pretty dang impossible to avoid in terms of damage here. In the meantime, gonna get the wave fully shoved in is the idea, but
It's not gonna happen.
it is almost certainly not gonna happen. That being said, Doga does not opt for a freeze here. Instead, going to look to shove the wave all the way in. It's not a siege wave, which could actually turn into a huge amount of minion denial.
I would shove that wave too, 100%. I'd be telling my support to shove that wave. Like, that was a very interesting play there. Maybe Doga, you know, Haruki feels like they're sitting on enough item gold for a very crucial component or something of the sort, but with the dragon not up for a minute there, you're going to be lacking ultimate. Maybe it'll be about 15 seconds into the dragon fight that you'll get your ultimate online. I don't really like that decision.
I mean, Smolder ulti actually is just so low cooldown. I'd honestly be surprised if it wasn't up by then. Meanwhile, you know, Rocket in this top lane could be in trouble. But
and it's New North roaming up. Gets another stun on the twin fight. Jimothy comes over the wall too. The Cyclone is committed. And that cease and desist might not be enough as the Magnet Storm comes down too. That was 3 ultimates for 2 in the top side though. Honestly, if I'm Nova, I take that going into a dragon fight in 30 seconds.
Absolutely. I mean, Twin Flame leads into twin kills here, as in the bot lane, Hyuna now the only one left defending this tower, as Haruki gets a little bit of time to breathe on the Smolder. I mean, it just gets a little bit of scaling time. Meanwhile, you know, Jinx, all she needs is items. She doesn't really care that much about the levels until, you know, if she gets to level 9, that's really the only level that she needs, right? Meanwhile, the dragon gonna be started up by Novasphere immediately here. A very bold play, but knowing that Jimothy is still in that top lane and cannot contest this, I honestly love this from Novasphere here. You know, they punish that overextension so heavily.
I agree, and they're going to pick up their first Drake. Maybe New North inbound here trying to catch something out, but, you know, there's multiple flashes on the other side, so they weren't really going to find much of anything. But trading out one Drake there, it's not that big of a deal. It's old. It is an individual Cloud Dragon, where you do have a Smolder, Swifties, and Ghosts on the bot side, but at the end of the day, the individual dragons are not as impactful as the Soul is, which is going to be an Ocean Soul, so this is going to be an interesting one.
Definitely an interesting one, and okay.
Udyr just
6
soloed
Void
all
Grubs.
Void Grubs. Oh, yeah, he wants that split pushing potential, and you can feel it. Oh,
yeah, I mean, that's...
Oh, no. Rocket needed a turret shot. Oh, that was the signal for Twin Flame to get the kill there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like a good position to find yourself in, but, you know, Twin Flame likely won't be able to do too much more. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Jimothy absolutely getting a lot out of Blue Shift here, as Kiona's just 1v2ing the bot lane. What the hell?
Yeah, honestly, if I'm Jimothy here, got that Sundered Sky online, I'm pushing this Vi's jungle as much as possible because there's no reason you can't win a 1v1 against her. She only has Caulfield's Hammer, and I honestly don't know what that other thing is called, but she has almost finished off the components of the Sundered Sky, so I would push that advantage that you have as much as possible. See what you can get away with, do a little bit of limit testing, see that he's going to be looking to take that red buff now. It's going to be a Hextech flash over. Not really gonna find much of anything there. New North, and they want to go for a 4-man tower type bot side. Now they want to get Kiota online. They want to get this 80 carry stacking and scaling. It's going to be the Smolder ultimate, but not nearly enough. Kiota has 2 kills. They're gonna push into Andalusian, and that is a Pop Blossom. 3 members flash, but 3 members get rooted up in the queue from Andalusia. Does so much damage stacked on all of those members. Timothy's should be able to trade out onto this mid laner. Now it's up to New North for that little bit of peel, and he's trying to pull this Jimothy in. Twin Flame doing whatever they can. The knockups are crazy. Bounty Hunter is there with the poke. He's got to retreat to the tower. I don't think that they can find the kill. Bounty Hunter might fall here on the Twin Flame. It's another knockup into a Q, and Jimothy is able to find that. They are absolutely decimating this team with no HP.
And just like that, was looking so unbelievably good for Novasphere, turns out for the worst, as beautiful team play from Doga keeps their jungler alive. Yes, you do drop Kiona, but you know, Jinx able to get back into that mid lane in time to pick up those waves and just able to stay as healthy as possible. Meanwhile, your jungler sitting on 3-0 and 3, only one tower plate lost here, and oh my god, the TP is coming in, and there's just so little that Novasphere can get.
That one's Rocket coming in with the flank, and they recognize this though, but he doesn't care. Does he get the stun off? No, it gets flashed. They're gonna have to settle for Hoshinoko. But oh, I thought that was Rocket TPing in onto the tower, and he was gonna instantly flash ult on top of them, get the stun off, and just get an instant double kill.
Yeah, but I mean, Rocket just gonna pull that trigger a little bit later than that. Still going to be doing just fine here. Meanwhile, I mean, there's so many Void Grubs for the side of Novasphere. Meanwhile, Doga is going to be doing just fine on this push here. As, you know, you don't really need 6 Void Grubs in order to take towers down when you've got a Jinx on your team.
Yeah, Kiona just did a ton of damage to Twin Flame. Maybe Twin Flame underestimating where this Jinx is at in the game, and forced him already to retreat. No TP on that champion still. So we had a little bit of an interesting lane swap going on there where, you know, Bounty Hunter was in the bot side, Jimothy was in the top lane with Andalusia up there, and it was really weird, but things seem to be evening out a little bit now as that Rift Herald has spawned and both teams want to go for that objective. They're going to go ahead and engage onto this mid laner. The Pop Blossom is going to come down. It's another 3-man knock-up and stun, but Rocket is able to find the kill, and that's an assist for Kiona. Going to shove out this mid wave. She'll be able to take the tower. Meanwhile, they're looking for some type of advantage onto Bounty Hunter in the bot side, but, you know, he has the movement speed, is able to get out for free there. And now they could have spiraled that into a Rift Herald take, but it's looking like they want to opt to just continue farming instead.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, right? Novasphere have a very solid composition if they, you know, get everything into the right position at the right time. Doga just want to hit the button, the trigger first, and oh dear God.
They are definitely going in. The season assist is massive. They find Kiona and New North. Those are decent trades. I don't think Kiona had a bounty on them though, but they do pick up 2 kills for their Smolder, so that's going to be great for the scaling and great for this dragon fight that is happening, because it will be a 4v2, and that is going to be Doga's initiative to go ahead and back off of this one.
As you were saying, right? I mean, Kiona, he didn't really have a bounty at that point, right? You know, still sitting at 1-1 at that point of the game here, but Novasphere in the right place at the right time, exactly as we were talking about right before that point. Meanwhile, Slicing Maelstrom going crazy up in the top lane.
Yep. Twin Flame is going to be bouncing back though, is not going to go down without a fight. That's 2 stuns on the Rocket so far. Can he make it 3? Stun up from Rocket though. That's a super mega death. It nearly takes the kill, but Rocket probably didn't need Flash, but flashes for it just in case.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at that point, I do think the Flash was necessary if you want to secure the kill. And Twin Flame, on that Udyr, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen 2GG, sorry, Trick GG. Oh my goodness, we've seen Trick 2G, just surviving for absolutely forever on that Udyr. Don't want to be a part of that montage. Don't give Twin Flame the chance of surviving there. Meanwhile, we've got AoE on AoE on AoE, right? I mean, you've got the Wukong Cyclone, you've got Slicing Maelstrom, you got Karma Mantra Qs, like, all day, every day, and even Jinx's auto attacks, of all things, are AoE. And all of that starts with New North just walking up and getting these beautiful engages on the Rel time and time again. Whether it's the follow-up or whether it's the beginning, Rel will do just fine, but New North has been the one pulling the trigger on so many of these fights.
Now, as we are approaching 20 minutes, we are hitting a crucial point into the game. If we can get a stacks check on the Smolder to see where they may be. 157, 225,
okay.
I believe is the number, so probably should have reached that in about the next 10 minutes. That is going to be a big turnaround for this Nova team. Riftail's already been picked up while Bounty Hunter is casually 2-1ing. Commits a cease and desist and everything on him. He flashes away. They might actually live. Nope. They did burn the flash out of blue shit though, and they get an engage onto Twin Flame, the Cyclone knockup, the New North knockup, and they commit the rocket and the rocket. Both rockets came out during that game, and they actually just, they want to put this top laner in the dirt. That's a decent Magnet Storm coming down. Smolder's going to be able to only hit the Rift Herald. Poor Rift Herald. Shelly's going to be able to smash into the tower anyway with Jimothy driving the helm. Too bad he's not drunk this time, so we won't have any drifting mayhem going on. And Hoshinoko going forward with the shield, trying to be there for his team. It's a flash pop also, but it's only able to find on to one member. And Delicio's extremely low. One pick from, and that's Kiona. Gets the assist, has the movement speed. Can they be able to get out? No, gets stunned up, unfortunately. And this is a very, very hectic back and forth fight. But, I mean, Nova Shadow will be coming out on top of this one.
Yeah, meanwhile, New North going to try to make the escape of a lifetime, but there's no shot. Haruki going to be going on a rampage on the Smolder here, as Bounty Hunter and Twin Flame just going toe-to-toe again and again. Like, yeah, Jimothy's here, but you still can't do any damage to this Udyr.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to find a pick on him, but it took everything in order to kill him. We'll have even more tanky items than that Canic Recurrent. Oh, this is Rocket TPing in. Has the ultimate, has the flash. Can he find the angles though? The Hextech Rocket Bell. It's a double stun up. Twin Flame is the one eating the brunt of the damage. The Super Mega Death Rocket's gonna go wide this time, and they're not able to find any picks.
Yeah, no picks found here, but either way, Rocket was in, and now Rocket is out. He's just going to be walking back into the mid lane, try to make something happen. Slicing Maelstrom still down. We're just looking to see when Rocket will hit that dreaded level 16 for that rank 3 Slicing Maelstrom. Level 14, currently I believe the highest level in the entire game, so it might still be a little bit before we see that point, but man, this cannon has been absolutely performing, and it's pretty rare to see cannons nowadays, so I'm very, very happy to see the slightly less orthodox picks really working out. It shows you that Doga knows what it is that they can do to play around this cannon, and knows what the cannon needs in order to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, I like the cannon pick, but what I would also like to see is how Dorado can push this topside advantage that they have. The best way they can do that is get this cannon to every objective fight as physically possible. And right now, Rocket is in the top side with 30 seconds until the dragon spawns. He's got to start marching his way down through the mid lane. Should get spotted out by Blue Shift here, though. Rocket is going for a little bit of an engage onto the jungler. Might be caught out a little bit themselves, but no, it is not going to be. They're going to gain a little bit of that mid lane advantage going into the bot side river too. So they should have the priority for this Drake start. You see that the pings are coming down, and this is what I like to see. Rocket's there with the Maelstrom, Jimothy has the Cyclone, and New North has the Magnet Storm. We just got to see these three ultimates come online, but somebody has got to respond to this Udyr split pushing. Can't forget that he has 6 Void Grubs on top of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's quite 6 because, we were seeing a few Void Grubs animations, from the side of Doga. But, you know, this Udyr definitely a threat to towers. It does not matter just how many Void Grubs he has. Still something you have to be paying attention to. And now with Blue Shift also in the top lane, just committing for that tower, this is the biggest kind of trade that they were able to find themselves for that dragon.
Yep, and it's a better trade-off in my opinion because you already had 2 dragons on the side of Nova. So take a little bit of map presence and deny more gold out of the pockets of Doga. The Baron is going to be the next prime battle fight for both of these 2 teams. And honestly, I have no clue who's going to come out on top right now. I'm looking at how New North is going to play this. I'm looking at where this Haruki Smolder is going to be positioning if they get caught out, if they don't, and if Kiona can get online early. That is going to be kind of the turning factors of each of these fights. You've got very strong members in the top side with Rocket and Jimothy. Now you got to use those members.
Yeah, I mean, Doga's whole team fight composition is built around the idea of striking fast and striking first. So, you know, they've been doing it beautifully throughout this entire game, but it only takes one team fight to mess up to turn the tide of the entire game, right? This Udyr is getting slowly to the point where he's basically unstoppable in these side lanes, right? Twin Flame just has taken out 1, 2, 3 towers now. For the side of Novasphere. I mean, you know, one of those towers wasn't necessarily Twin Flame. No, actually, all 3 of them taken out by Twin Flame.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, you know, you have to be so careful about this Udyr.
Oh, sorry, I definitely agree with you because, you know, well, this Udyr is going to be tanky no matter what, and is only going to get tankier. Rocket forced to use the Rocket Belt in order to get away. Kiona might be facing a little bit of a 2v3 in the mid lane. Jimothy has a little bit of an angle to get there in time. Rocket is about down a quarter of HP, so if they do want to force some type of objective fight, now is the time. If you are Nova, you see they're already pinging toward this Baron. They're going to get up that vision, and they might look for some sort of flip. It could be risky, but it might be the risk that Nova needs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think at this point, you really don't need to take that risk, right? You still have a Smolder, you still have a Nico, you still have a team composition that does it beautifully around the idea that you can get to those late game power points, and once you do get to that late game, it's so unbelievably difficult to deal with so many threats on the enemy team. Meanwhile, the fight's just going to be breaking out. You know, who cares about scaling? Just fight it out, try to kill New North, fail miserably, and then reset for the next one.
Yeah, New North being half HP, your engaged champion can get absolutely blown up before they even get those engaged tools off. So, you know, we see homie Twin Flame is in the bot lane doing it again.
Oh,
Just
Twin
keeps
Flame.
applying pressure. This man's going to take every tower on the map by himself unless someone from Dorado can find a way to punish him. They've already pulled Rocket to this bot side and they're going for the Dragon Flip. Twin Flame uses the TP this time around. It's already at about 10k HP and Rocket is going to be
So does
TPing
Rocket.
respectively too. The Baron damage is eating away at Hoshinoko. Maybe they can find some sort of engaging. Will New North go over the wall? No, does get rooted up. So they all opted for a flip, but then just ran away.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like the fact that they opted to run there, right? I mean, you trade TP for TP here. That's honestly fine. Meanwhile, Twin Flame just walking right back to that bot lane where we all know what his job is. We already know what it is he's going to be doing. There's so much standing gold on the map still available for Novasphere in that mid tower. So honestly, I think that this next Baron play will lead into so much of a gold swing. Only 2k gold, 3k maybe separates these teams, but one big engage means that Hoshinoko now loses another crucial summoner spell for the fight.
Yep, I'm right there with you. These 2 TPs will be back online too, so we'll probably see another little bit of trade-off in this top side. You know, both of them going for the pushes as we have Dragon spotting. Both these teams wanting to get to some point, wanting to get that 2 Ocean Dragon advantage as soon as possible. And, you know, I'm still coming down to where and how this support out of New North can go for those engages. We see Bounty Hunter is going to get rooted up from Indelicio. That's a good bit of chunk damage already. I'm a little worried because this Karma is starting to fall off a little bit, needs to get that Rabadon's online as soon as possible because she's starting to hit and now a support champion type in this game, and that's a big chunk of AP damage gone for Dorado. It's gonna be Jimothy and Kiona single-handedly taking care of the dragon while the rest of the members of Dorado look to stay alive their mid lane turret. They're going to turn onto Hoshinoko, maybe trying to find a pick up the support to triple knockup though. The Smolder comes down, it does get dodged out, and Dolicio does land that TP timing, and now we may see some sort of engage here. This turret is not going to live much longer. You might want to start backing away if you are Dorado, and I mean, look at your mini-map. Look who's inside the base.
Oh?
For an engage. The Magnet Storm is massive, but you're losing your base at the same time. Kiona is able to pick up multitudes of kills. It's looking like we might have some sort of small mini base race here. Maybe, you know, the Jinx going for a little bit of Baron poke damage. They feel like that they can go for this with the 3 members that are on the map right now. But Twin Flame, man, you can't leave this man alone.
Yeah. Oh my lord. Twin Flame on the Udyr split push has been so useful for the team. Like, yes, Doga do get the kills here, but here comes the Udyr. Honestly, man could just 1v3 this.
He is 1v3, does get slowed up from the W from Kiona. Bounty Hunter should be able to land the root. Yep, does not have enough damage to kill Twin Flame though, but has enough to send him packing so that all 5 members can get that Baron buff.
Yeah, and Baron buff, super important here. The number one objective in order to exchange, you know, so much gold, right? So now that Doga do have that top inhib going down, they definitely want to be pushing down that top lane, right? But Twin Flame, you know, understands that and understands his mission, and once again is going to be walking straight down through that bot lane, just going to be pushing down those towers, trying to drag people around the map no matter where it is. But with 2 teleports available, it's honestly going to be pretty difficult. You know, Rocket, level 17, does have a rank 3 Slicing Maelstrom, probably doesn't want to have to use it though.
Yeah, I don't think he wins that 1v1. That's now turning into a 1v2. He's probably going to get caught out by that cease and desist. Does able to get the flash off in the nick of time with the Chrono Belt. Still barely makes it out with their life. But man, Twin Flame is single-handedly winning this game for Nova Shadow, taking everything on the map, and nobody can stop him unless you send 5 members. But we see they're going to go ahead and pressure. The Baron buff is on favor of Doga, so they should have a little bit of wave bounce back here. But Iris and Bounty Hunter and Kiona are responding with their own topside pressure. Look who shows up, Twin Flame, showing up in the nick of time, say, hey, I took your inhib, you're not taking mine. Meanwhile, New North and Jimothy, they're looking to pressure all of these members of Nova Shadow into this mid lane and support the season. This is going to come down onto Kiona. That 80 carry in combination with Smolder ultimate will end up falling, but it is traded out 1 for 1 as Jimothy and New North are able to find the pick onto that Nico. Oh, it's another engage here, and it will be the Maelstrom. It's a 3-man stun. It's a lot of damage, but the members are still falling in return. It's traded out 1 for 1 off the Smolder damage, but Smolder ends up falling. Rocket has to retreat for a little bit because he has a quarter of HP. Twin Flame, the last one left standing. Do you have the tankiness? Do you have the survivability? It's not looking like it, and with an open inhib and a Baron buff on the wave, it's looking like Dorado may be able to take the game right here, right now. And Delicia, 15 seconds on the respawn timer. No Pop Blossom though. Do they have enough damage to stall this one out? It will be 1 Nexus turret down. Looking to get the 2nd Nexus turret down. Do Dorado have enough damage to burn this Nexus before the members respawn?
Absolutely.
And they do. So they take game number 1.
All right, and just like that, Dorado Gaming going to be taking game number 1. It was looking super back and forth for a decent bit of that game. But, you know, so much of it was with Novasphere on that back foot, right? You know, it says, hey, you know what? We have to get the Smolder up and running. We have to play towards our comp win conditions. We have to get everyone in the right place at the right time. We have to stop Dorado from hitting us first. And Dorado would not stop. It was just... you know, Slicing Maelstrom after Magnet Storm after Cyclone. Like, it was just so many go buttons from the side of Doga, and they push those go buttons at the right times every single time. And in the end, it is going to net them game number 1, but it's not to say that was a slaughter. It was still really back and forth. So game number 2 is right around the corner, so don't go anywhere.
as days passes by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal. Sometimes I feel that my love's run out. When things don't go to plan, I kinda lose my mind. I hope it's real, this life comes around. Just keep your faith and search for the fountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Can't be waiting for you in the morning. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight.
Voices going through my head. These voices telling me what I said about you, about us and what we do. I will get your heart somewhere. Voices going through my head. These voices telling me what I said about you, about us and what we do.
I'm shit too.
Let's watch some techniques. I will free myself from you, yeah. I
All right, hello, and welcome back to game number 2. Now we do have Dorado Gaming versus Novasphere Gaming, with Dorado now on blue side. So we're definitely going to be seeing a few different things. The smolder was not banned away the last time, and this time seems to be no different. And I'm pretty excited to see if we get any sort of changes or adaptations in this draft. What do you think, Cilantro?
I mean, I think Nova bans Smolder eventually. I feel like it's got to go. Interesting to see the Garma banned. I don't really feel like it was as strong as maybe Nova feels like it was that game. But I mean, Karma just existing is always strong. Doga opting for the same bans as did last time, taking away that Mordekaiser at the end. And now it comes down to Nova. Do they ban the Smolder? Yep, they will go ahead and take that one away. Doga, they don't care. They didn't play the Smolder last game and they won. They don't need it this time.
Yeah, I mean, Smolder has such a huge pick ban presence here. I mean, it's almost 100%, honestly. But either way, the Gwen first pick on blue side, okay. I mean, she definitely can be used in, the top lane, had a little bit of presence as a jungle pick for a short bit of time, but this is a statement and a half. Rocket says there is nothing on this planet that Twin Flame can play that would make you regret playing this Gwen here. Meanwhile, Tristana going to be picked up as the answer to that Varus. We're likely going to be seeing, someone else who can just hardcore go in like we saw the Rel the last time. Yep. Speaking of which, there's that Rel there. And we've got a spicy game on our hands.
Yeah, Aris, Viego, those are pretty solid picks. You get one reset on a Tristana or on a Rel. That's going to be pretty crucial for your team fights. Hoshi going to be opting for the Rakan this time around. I feel like it's an okay pick. It's pretty decent counter dive, which is what it's looking like Doga does want to go for. And Novasphere, they've recognized that. They're going to go ahead and ban out the Wukong. I think the Vi might get picked itself from Doga if it doesn't get banned from Nova here. It's not a bad pick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now you just need more go buttons. I would love to see a Maokai pick here for the side of Doga. I mean, Maokai is just still so unbelievably strong. Tryndamere going to be taken off the table. Hui also taken off the table. I mean, Tryndamere is one of the few champions that can deal with the Gwen. At this point, it's just a matter of what exactly does Twin Flame play that can deal with that Gwen, because there's no chance of this Gwen's going anywhere other than top lane at this point here. But I mean, we could still be seeing this Tristana go mid if you pick a weak control mage. Instead, it's going to be the Nico, who should be able to deal with Tristana just fine. So right here, you have to figure out how do you round out this comp. We've already got a lot of go buttons. Are we just going to get more? Are we going to get more damage? Right? I'd like to see some more AoE, right? Perfect stuff. And I would love to see a Vi on top of that. So that way it's just, moment you hit 6, you are just dead.
This is a great pick because the Earth Slide counters Haruki with building the Proto Belt on Nico. Counters Rakan from being able to dash to his teammates. Counters Viego from being able to land a stun. It's a great pick. I love to see the Talia here. Fiora on the map against the... I've seen this before. I know I've seen this before, and it did not go well for the Kayle.
Yeah. I mean, this happened in Conquerors earlier this week on Tuesday, and it did not go too great for the Kayle in the end. I am very, very confused as to the huge priority on Gwen, though, if you weren't going to end up flexing it. But I mean, okay, so how this is probably going to work out is this is likely going to be the Gwen jungle. So Gwen has so much magic damage, so it's just going to be magic damage on magic damage, is going to be able to duel with the Viego, and in the worst case scenario is able to leave against the Viego. So we'll have to see how exactly things do work out on the Rift itself. I do think we might be waiting a little bit on spectator delay though, so for now let's just talk about the compositions here, Cilantro.
Yeah, I mean, I did expect the Triss to go to the bot side. I didn't really expect her to go to the mid lane because, well, according to Riot August, nobody knows how to play AP bot laners, so I was not expecting that to be coming out this game.
I mean, we saw the Gwen on B1, so
Yeah,
there's
very
already gonna be
interesting.
magic damage.
That's very interesting. This is a Gwen. I actually don't know where this Gwen is going because
It's jungle. There's
I
no
don't
shot
want
it's
to
anywhere other
believe
than
it's
jungle.
I'm sorry. I just don't believe in the Gwen jungle. I don't.
You don't believe in the
I
jungle?
don't. And you know, Jimothy might prove me wrong, and you know what? I'm all for it if they prove me
Yeah,
wrong.
I
But
mean,
it
Gwen
just
jungle's
makes
been around for a
more-
while. You just run the ghost, you run at people. As long as you have someone to push the go button, you should be fine. And we already saw New North's rel. Like that is a go button and a half. That man knows how to pull the trigger.
That's confirmed, but I mean, it could be a Talia jungle Gwen mid. Like it could be. It's
I feel like that would just be
unlikely.
trolling.
Who's not trolling on this team right now?
I mean,
we have
honestly,
Kale versus Fiora, and then we have Tristana, Tristana Rel versus a Rakan.
I mean, Kale
that's
versus
going to be
Fiora.
right
The thing about Kale versus Fiora is that if Kale can play it safe, you can get to a point where Fiora should not be able to deal with you. It's just that your team has to be strong enough that the Fiora cannot only itemize for the Kale, right? If Fiora's in a position where she's allowed to just itemize for Kale, like we saw in Conquerors earlier this week, then yes, Kale is going to be running into a big issue here. But, you know, once we're able to see how things work out on the Rift, we'll just throw ourselves right into it. But either way, the Fiora should be an interesting matchup into the Kale. I do believe that she will struggle a little bit early on. Mid game, like until level 5, around level 5, Fiora should be doing fine, especially with that press the attack. Level 6 through level 11 will struggle a little bit, but 11 through 15 is when Fiora has her items in place, should be able to do fine in the Kale, and then 16 is when Kale starts to take over, and that champion only ever gets stronger.
We shall see. I mean, we have seen level 16 Kales not be able to close out a game for their team before. Will it happen, or will we go to a game number 3? I believe we do need to swap our name tags, as Doga is on the blue side and Nova is on the red side this time around. So, but other than that, will Doga take the game 2-0, or will they go ahead and send it to a map number 3? It's the final week. Maybe they're just choosing to have a little bit of fun with the last game of the season. I mean, I want to see Jimothy go absolutely crazy on this champion. I just don't believe in it.
I don't know. I mean, I think that Gwen Jungle is definitely a worthwhile pick. Is it a blue side first pick worthwhile pick? I don't know about that one. But either way, if anyone would know, it is Pro Comps, right? And for those of y'all who are not aware, Pro Comps is those of you who are not aware, Pro Comps is a beautiful tool designed to help you just draft exactly what's needed in the right time. But oh my god, we're just getting fighting after fighting, and do not want to hear anything about what we're saying here. But either way, here we go, back on the Rift, and I don't know, there's going to be a lot of trading back and forth here. Level 2 almost inbound.
Oh, it will be the Tristana Rel hitting level 2 first. Oshinoko gets a nice grand entrance, and the flash forward gets the W, disengages the exhaust. Not enough. Kiona, and you know, off that kill, Twin Flame just said, "Nah, I'm out."
Yeah, I mean, that would have been
Bot lane
a
throwing,
very,
FF.
very spooky thing.
FF safe.
Right, I mean, yeah, that would have been super spooky if Twin Flames actually just straight up left after that. But, I mean, either way, that's a level 2 power from the Justana coming in. You have to be so careful here. And New North just going to be walking on out, you know, has the shield ready. A little bit of greed here. Oh my god.
Kiona, maybe? Yeah, maybe a little bit of greed, but maybe not. New North is able to clean up that one. It was traded out 1 for 1, so we are 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1 on the bot side. So it's going to be about even in gold. We see this is a different story compared to last game. Neither one of these bot laners are sitting back and looking pretty anymore.
But meanwhile in this mid lane, Bounty Hunter taking a lot of damage, but dishing out a lot.
The rocks! I was about to say a little bit confused there because Bounty Hunter didn't take Electrocute. I was like, if he had Electrocute there, they 100% win that fight. It does have to flash for it. Has the face rush, so it doesn't matter. So it gets that little bit of extra movement speed. But insane. I love Talia. I'm excited for this matchup too.
I mean, Cilantro, thrower of rocks. But either way, speaking of rocks, Rocket in the top lane, a constant rock for Doga here. I mean, was doing so well in that last game with the Kennen, so many engages with the team. But now that Rocket's on a champion that is not a hardcore team fighter, but instead much more of a split pusher, the question is, how do things change, especially now that Twin Flames wave state is so unbelievably rough here? Like, if you do not get help from your jungler, the lane is essentially over, and that is why Blue Shift is right here, trying to make sure that there's no chance for the Kayle to instantly lose off of one bad wave state.
Jimothy read that like a book too, though, and was in the area to deny Blue Shift that lane gank and shut down this Fiora early on. But we do
Look at that Gwen farming.
We do have a dragon spawning, 15 seconds. Gwen probably should be farming toward the bot side, as she does have a bot lane advantage. I maybe would have tapped with my Raptors and then tapped with the dragon there, but that's just me. With this bot lane advantage that I have going on. But the waves seem to be shoving a little bit back and neutralizing in the mid side. I'm pretty sure Kiona on this Tristana, I mean, you can't help but shove a wave. That's just what Tristana's passive allows you to do. And so this will be shoving back out. They will regain dragon advantage. Misses the knock up there, New North. The Shattering Strike is not going to miss. Hoshinoko eating a chunk of damage there, punishing this Rakan left, right, and center.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much damage that this Rakan is taking, but all of the priority is on this top side for these grubs for this fight here. We're getting 3 players from the side of Doga in this top lane. Twin Flame might be in trouble. No level 6 just yet.
Yeah, they want to shut down this Kayle right before she hits that level 6. The Rock Slide's going to come down. The Twin Flame Flash is committed, and so is Rocket's ultimate. One more final point, but he's eating turret shots. They're not trading aggro, and Delicio with the perfect roam timing is able to help out that top liner and save their lives. And, just because of that, Blue Shift is going to take a dragon for free, too. This is looking great for Nova Shadow at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the dive was really good there. If you finish that dive, that is so much farm lost for Twin Flame. So much experience. That was essentially lane ending for the Kayle there. Meanwhile, Rocket just taking one shot too many, gonna be going down in what looked to be such a good play, turns into just blaze of glory here. Meanwhile, Jimothy just going to go back to the farming here, as I mean, Gwen farming has honestly worked out so well for the side of Doga. Just looking for that level 6, that ability to actually get that damage off in the gank, especially with that first strike. But either way, as you said earlier, there's really not anything that Kiona can do in order to freeze this wave. Tristana is just going to be naturally pushing the wave regardless.
Yep, so she's just going to let it neutralize in the middle, and Twin Flame has opted for Cull off of their first back, has the Berserker Greaves too, so just trying to get a little bit extra gold. Is down almost about 20 CS, but that Cull is going to help you get ever so slightly not really ahead, but in behind that gold lead that the Fiora will end up having. She did end up taking a death though, so it will be about even. The Tiamat has been finished off, and we see Rocket taking a bit of a page out of Twin Flame's book there, is on those Void Grubs, and is currently soloing them. Now, I don't know how much damage Fiora can do. I don't know how fast she can solo these, but because Blue Shift and Twin Flame have opted for a little bit of a pit stop on the red buff, she should be able to get all 3.
Yeah, I mean, all those Void Grubs going down is super important for the side of Doga here. I mean, you got Tristana, you got Fiora. These towers are going to be going down so fast, like they're made of paper mache. But In the meantime, you can see the trades just happen again and again. I mean, it's like they don't want anything shown other than the bot lane because Doga is just fighting on repeat.
These two bot lanes are yet to hold passively. And, you know, that's what we're going to be expecting here. Both of them wanting a lead and wanting it now, especially Tristana. But, you know, Haruki has that serrated Dirk online. Could be looking for some sort of fight here. I feel like it's going to do a little bit more than the Noon Quiver right now, just because lethality is in such a strong spot. And, you know, the Ionian boots have been picked up for New North. No plated, so she'll be able to take a lot of damage from Haruki's autos there in the bot side. But I'm still looking at this mid lane because now, you know, both these are above level 6, both level 8. They have their TPs. We're going to start seeing some roam timers, and that's where the real action is going to start happening. No, they know. They know, right? They know.
Yeah, they know. They know. Right? I mean, you can see Blue Shift's just looking to make something happen in this bot lane. But, oh, beautifully timed W.
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect engage onto New North. Does get a knockup, but that's going to be a reset for this Viego. The Shattering Strike lands. They're looking for more, but unable to find it. This game is feeling all Nova Shadow the first 10 minutes.
I mean, it was super, super great for Kiana and New North at the very, very beginning, but Nova Shadow now getting the pushback here. I mean, Kale just constantly farming up, constantly getting more and more levels. Like I said, right, you know, this is the early part where Fiora is going to struggle a little bit. Level 11 through 15 is when she has access to that first item and can really start to fight. But I mean, Twin Flame got past the super, super difficult part of levels 1 through 5 relatively fine, right? I mean, yes, you're down 20 CS, but Rocket still not going to be able to threaten the kill.
That one, I mean, ulti for ulti, that's probably what's going to happen in the top side, and Twin Flame is forced to burn that recall. Does not have the TP, so cannot come back to lane fast. This is pretty good for Rocket, actually.
I mean, Rocket likely going to be getting, you know, 2, maybe all 3 tower plates here. But, I mean, Twin Flame understands the assignment. Just knows that Rocket's going to be greeting out for this Blue Flame.
I mean, Rocket had to...
Oh my god.
Rocket had to know. No mana, no HP on a Kale. The jungler has to be there. Like, they had to have known that.
Yeah, but, I mean, either way, greed is good, and Rocket going to be taken down by a little bit of that greed here, but we've got so many plates that Doga's honestly still keeping up relatively nicely in terms of gold here.
We have another dragon on the board, and Doga has the proper positioning and want to take this one finally. And Delicio, you're pretty weak. I don't think you're going to find an angle into this fight. Maybe just opt for the next one, but the Void Grubs will be spawning respectively too. Those could be traded out from Blue Shift as they are in that area, and they are going to start roaming up towards it. We'll be pinging it, and yeah, should be able to take that for 4, maybe. Jimothy and Bounty Hunter, they're there, and Delicia has no HP. They can't help. Kale is all the way coming back from spawn. Only 1 Void Grub picked up so far. Jimothy pops the needlework onto Blue Ship, but the Blast Cone will help them escape. It will be 5 Void Grubs for Doga this game.
Yeah, I mean, Jimothy just constantly farming up with the Gwen. That's the big thing about Gwen jungle, is that so Gwen as a champion runs into a few issues with the power spikes, right? So once you get that first item, whether it's the Riftmaker or the, Gnasher's Tooth, right? You're not quite as strong as a lot of other champions, but never mind, no analysis needed as bot lane's already going in.
Yep, they're fighting 1v1, but Haruka is going to come out on top. That lethality, gotta do a little bit more than that Kraken Slayer this early on in the game, especially with no armor in that bot side. You're really just relying on Grell's passive armor there for those engages. Rocket is gonna be chunked down by Twin Flame. Now it's approaching that level 11. This KO is eventually about to start getting very scary.
I mean, getting close to that level 11, getting close to that Cull Pop as well, and also getting close to that Gnasher's Tooth completion here. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter just going to continue to throw rocks over and over again as Rocket just trying to pull ahead with the CS lead, but only so much you can do at this point to the Kale.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, she's going to be scaling, and she's soon to have that Nashers. You've got the Ravenous, so get a little bit more lifesteal off of those Vital Pops with your ulti, so should be able to fare out in the 1v1 later on down the line. We've got to be careful because Blue Shift is in that top side 24/7, it feels like. It's a quickness into a grand entrance onto Bounty Hunter, and the Pop Blossom is able to find two, but Indelicio has no HP, and New North is able to trade out that for a kill. Oshinoko, the roam was not of good value there.
Yeah, I mean, Hoshinoko, they're just too little too late,
no.
and Jimothy looking for an in.
No Shattering Strike though, unfortunate.
Yeah, but I mean, the Gwen is farmed up. I was talking about it earlier, right? I mean, Gwen runs into some issues with a power trough here, but oh my god. Once again, these two just hate analysis. Rocket right now trying to survive here, but oh my god, we've got a 2v3 on our hands.
Oh yes we do. Indelicio coming in for blood, wants a little bit of revenge, and Blue Shift, once that reset, is going to be able to pick up two off of that. Meanwhile, Kiona, left to their own accord to the bot side, is going to get absolutely squashed like a bug or like a Yordle, and this is really feeling one-sided from Nova.
Yeah, I mean, the kills have just gone through again and again, but the first turret does go down for the side of Doga here. There should be at least one tower taken for Novasphere. I doubt they're going to be able to get past New North for a second tower here, but Jimothy is here.
Oh, they're looking for more. They want to clean up onto Harukia. That's a shutdown for the Gwen and has a Gnasher's Tooth. This could be an angle for Doga to find their way back into this game. The Rift Herald will be claimed from Nova. That will go into Blue Shift's pocket. They want to continue to push this gold lead. It's only at 2k. This could put them up at about 3, maybe 4k. But Indelicio is coming basically everywhere on the map all at once right now. Honestly, I've seen this player everywhere in the past 5 seconds.
Okay, so now that we finally got to a point where it's not just constant fighting, maybe I can talk about Gwen's power trough moment, right? So, you know, when Gwen does get that first item, she's not nearly as strong as a lot of the other champions, which is one of the points where she struggles in that top lane. Once she gets her second item, which is usually that Rift Maker, right, that's when she's on par with so many of the other champions, right? And then she only gets stronger from there. Oh my god, that was a full Rift Maker in one back.
That was a shutdown
Okay,
on her,
Jimothy.
that was a shutdown on our AD carry. So, you know.
That was one kill. How long has it been since Jimothy backed?
I don't know.
I mean, okay, I was gonna say until
We'll take
Jimothy gets a hold of that Rift Maker, it's gonna be a little bit tough. But there's the Rift Maker. So Jimothy in an incredibly strong position here.
Bounty Hunter, unfortunately, is not in an incredibly strong position. And that's going to bleed into a 4v3 for this dragon. And Doga doesn't really have an angle because Twin Flame can TP in as well with the Kale ulti, and it would be up to Rocket to be able to stun that out. But unless Kale hits you, you can't hit the parry, so you can't stun someone, so she has no angle of stopping the TP. So that dragon will be going over to the hands of Nova. Off of, I mean, it was just unfortunate timing in the mid lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, those all off of one pick from the side of Novasphere. And, you know, whether or not it's unfortunate timing or good timing, you know, depending on how you view things, you have to remember just how crazy some of these teams can get. Just how crazy some of these team fights can get, right? I mean, Doga picked Gwen blue side first, so of course they're going to be going for something crazy right here.
Yeah, they're going to find Twin Flame. The Blast Clone's going to be hit. The Needlework is enough damage from Jimothy. Finds their second in the game. Rocket should be able to clean up the turret easily. Tristana in the bot side pushing out the wave like they need to be. This jungler is slowly but surely needing to come online for Doga. And it's it can look very grim for Nova if it does here in the next few minutes.
Okay, so riddle me this, Cilantro, right? So Doga's the one who's supposed to be behind, right?
And Jimothy, just whoa, no, it's a topside gank. The Weaver's wall into Haruki. They should be able to find the kill. They traded a 1-for-1 onto Rocket, though. The turret is just a few more autos. Will fall into Delicio, only with the Pop Blossom onto one member, but it's more than enough. But if you are Doga, you're kind of okay with that. You just burned 2 TPs. You've got Indelicio's ult out, you've got Hoshinoko's ult out, you've got Haruki's ult out, you've got a bot side tier 2 and a top side tier 2 for a lot on the side of Nova.
And just like that, Doga have shrunk that gold lead down to 500 gold, right? I mean, like I said, Gwen only gets stronger from here, and with this back, I swear to God, if we see another full item from Jimothy, I'm leaving.
Well, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see when they back, but no full item. I don't even know if they
Yeah, okay, we just got boots.
Yeah, okay, so they got the boots. Opting for those plated to be able to survive Haruki's lethality damage. Double Shattering Strike stun. Hoshinoko's going to go in for a grand entrance. Blue Shift may be committed to this, but might not want to. It's a 3-man Magnus. So here comes Jimothy forcing the flash of Hoshinoko. The Needlework's going to go completely wide though, and it gets negated with the movement speed on the side of Novasphere.
Yeah, I mean, Doga knew that they could stand their ground, knew that they could count on their jungler being there right when they needed it most. Jimothy going to be a huge contesting point in these team fights. If the Gwen can do her job, then it's so difficult to see what Novasphere can do in response here. Oh my God.
And Delicio, that was just honestly unfortunate there. Mid lane scuffle going in favor of Bounty Hunter, gonna land that good parry. It's a TP coming in. Twin Flames already used the ultimate. No flash. It does have the flash online. Just now uses it, but a flash out of Rockets put out in return, and they're unable to find the kill, and that's a crucial reset for this Viego. Now they're engaging onto Hoshinoko and Haruki. They have to run away. Blue Shift picks up that Fiora. Not gonna find anything on the parry this time around, and we see Rocket a little bit overstepping a bit here. I mean, I know you're playing Fiora, man, but
I mean, we say overstepping, but that was so unbelievably unfortunate for the side of Doga there. Rocket flashes forward to get that last auto, to finish that grand challenge, right? And just get that last vital proc. And as the auto goes through, the vital expires. Right, so you don't get that extra burst of true damage, you don't get that extra healing, right, and you don't get the full-on power of that ultimate. I mean, Two Flame was able to survive for just barely enough time for Blue Shift to get right into the swing of things. I mean, this point, looking almost like StarCraft, right? You got the Blue Flame combo going in, and there's just so little that Rocket can do. Looking like a Zergling here, just throwing himself at Twin Flame over and over again, and it's just not working out.
Probably going to be another kill pickup. Ooh, unfortunately not going to be able to find that one. Blue Shift may be able to come over the wall though. Nope, that should be a tier 2 into the hands of Novasphere. This time around, they're taking a ton of the towers. I mean, actually no, they took a lot of them last time off the back of Twin Flame. It's just didn't end up panning out into the long run. Now Jimothy coming for a little bit maybe of a pincer, but they're going to go ahead and back off, deciding that they don't want to opt for a fight there. Kiona, gotta be a little bit careful. That Kale will decimate you. And now they're just gonna opt for clearing vision on this Baron. While Novasphere is about to walk down, they see that they're all in this vision. They're about to walk down and get soul point for free, but not if Haruki and Hoshinoko have anything to say. This Baron is not going to go into the hands. All the pointed arrow has already been used. Rocket can go over the wall into Hoshinoko here. The Shattering Strike does come down. He does hit a vital. The Weaver's Wall is going to stop that rotation from the mid side, so they will get soul point, but Baron will be traded out into the hands of Doga. Is this a worthwhile trade? Will they get caught out and will they fall? They don't have a turret to back up into. It's not looking very good. It's a 3-man Pop Blossom and Delicio making the plays left, right, and center, but the needlework is not nearly enough. There's a lot of damage done, but I mean, oh, Twin Flame should fall. Timothy maybe getting another one. Gwen not nearly going immune just yet. Is going to find two. Blue Shift does get a reset there, though. Rocket's going to go ahead and onto Blue Shift in that support lineup. But now, Timothy, you've got to run. You do not have the health bar. The parry on the Haruki. One more auto. They end up finding it. Rocket with the Sharpness Hydra is hitting the vitals, but you can't 1v2 there. And, I mean, it doesn't seem horrible for Doga, but it's really not great.
It's not the greatest, right? I mean, you trade 4 for 3. But at the very least, you still do have that Baron on to your Gwen here, starting to try to make something happen. I'm gonna say, you didn't believe in the Gwen jungle, Cilantro.
I mean, it ain't winning so far, so...
I don't know. The Gwen is definitely doing the best for the side of Doga, I'll tell you that.
We will see. Definitely the carry champion on Doga right now, but his team is few and far miles behind the side of Novasphere, and we saw it there. And they just made a play where now they only have one Baron buff up against a team that has Dragon Soul Point already, so I feel like the macro just plays just aren't there for right now for Doga.
I mean, of all the dragons to give soul point to, though, right? This is the Cloud Soul. It is something that's, you know, particularly good on certain champions like Viego, like Nico, like Rakan, right? So it's not something you can just give up for free, but, you know, soul point for Baron is something that I will take any day, right? So right here, you know, we're going to see just how things do develop, though, because you do need for the side of Doga to have things slow down a little bit, right? Stabilize a little bit. Maybe you can get a pick onto Kale right before she hits that dreaded level 16 win condition. Meanwhile, oh my god, I guess there's no picks for the side of Doga.
Oh, that's a good parry, but it doesn't really matter. Blue Shift does get that reset. The charm's going to come down off the quickness of the Khan. Magnastorm not really able to find much of anything. Kale still has ulti online and is chunking damage into this fight left, right, and center. And like you were mentioning, Anti, Doga wants things to slow down, but unfortunately you can't stop XP farming from this Twin Flame KO. So that level 16 is going to be inevitable. Maybe finding a pick onto Haruki. Yep, they're able to trade that one out, but Blue Shift will deny anything from coming in further. Okay, Indelicia, I mean, it'll be back fast, but you did get the pick, so we'll take those. And now they've got to go ahead and have to respond to this bot side push. The Kong should be able to take this tier 2, or this inhibitor turret uncontested, really. And now they could go ahead and back off. I mean, Gwen is looking to trade out a mid-tier 2 tower, potentially. The members of Doga are going to go ahead and try and cancel out all of these backs. And Delicia landing another root. That's going to be another engage onto the Rocket. That's going to be a flash out of Rocket. Blue Shift, where Rocket will be falling once again. Meanwhile, Jimothy is clearing the base, so this is at least an okay, worthwhile trade because we know Gwen, Haruki, that was, I mean, it was a solid attempt. I would have tried the same thing. But yeah, Gwen takes a big advantage in the mid lane off that, but the team fight wins just don't seem likely for Doga.
Yeah, they don't necessarily seem the most likely now that we've got 6 towers to 6 towers, right? It is going to be a 3, almost 4k gold lead for the side of Novasphere here. And as the game gets further and further out of reach for Doga, right, this Kale now going to be sitting on a Sheen here. I guess that's going to be turning into a Lich Bane. This is going to be super, super terrifying if you're Doga.
And Gwen going to be picking up that, well, let's just call it stopwatch.
Seeker's Arm Guard.
Yep, and Talia has the Rabadon's Death Cap online now, so this could be a huge team fight for Doga if they can find the angles for engage. 30 seconds till the Dragon. This one is going to be prioritized by Nova because they will have the soul off of this. But the AP champions have hit a little bit of a power spike for Doga, and they want to fight. They want to show that they're still in this game and that they have an opportunity to come out on top. They still have that individual Infernal Dragon. Well, individual dragons don't really mean much of anything. It could be a small difference maker in this upcoming fight. Twin Flame looking for that little bit of flank angle. Might be spotted out here from Bounty Hunter. While, oh no, Twin Flame forced to recall there and respond to Rocket. This is the best value Rocket can basically get in the fight right now. Witched Arrow does find Kiona. That's a quarter of HP gone already. And now, you know, Nova, they might have to respond to a shoving a bot wave here, but the
Oh?
come down. It's a triple stun, but nothing will really be able to make of it. The flank angle with the dragon is already at 7k. Jimothy has recognized this. He's got to get in there. He's got to get first step and a snipe, and he gets it. He steals the soul. It's a pop blossom onto 2, but can Jimothy do enough damage to clean up the fight so far? It's 1-0. Kiona will fall next off of the flank TP from Twin Flame. Bounty Hunter is forced to flash out. Jimothy, you have no HP. All of the members of Doga have fallen. Rocket should be able to trade out an inhibitor. It will be recalls coming down. Will she be able to find the tower just yet? It will barely be in the nick of time and has to retreat. But it's just, I mean, really
honestly,
looking good for Doga.
Honestly, I think that was solidly played from Doga, right?
Yes.
You steal the dragon, you might give over a few kills, you get an inhib tower, and every single wave was in the perfect position. So there's actually very little that Novasphere can get off that, and all of a sudden, Fiora's coming online.
Maybe, but Blue Shift and Twin Flame are there, so Twin Flame does a bit more damage than the Fiora, as we know. It has hit that level 16, will be level 18 here soon. And how do you stop a max spiked Kayle from snowballing this game?
And at this point, you just have to hope and pray that Novasphere mess something up if you're Doga, right? You cannot really force errors here because you don't have the same kind of, you know, all-in potential that you had in that last game. There's none of that, you know, hey, we get one good engage and we instantly win the game here. You know, all the wombo is on the side of Novasphere, but right now, you know, looking to try to make something happen.
This Baron is not going to have any chance of being stolen, and Doga don't even want to get anywhere inside of the Baron pip. So now the gold lead is only at, it's at 5k, and it's about to get immensely larger.
Yeah, pushing out all the waves from Doga here, trying to make sure that there's very little that Novasphere can do in order to make use of this Baron buffer now. Rocket getting chased out. Oh? Okay, never mind. You know, New North's just looking to try to make something happen here, but oh my god!
And Delicio forced to burn that stopwatch. Gwen does go immune procs that needlework. Maybe one more does not find that mid laner. Not nearly enough damage there just yet. The chains end up coming down onto the support though. That's going to be a pick and a reset for Blue Shift. They can continue to just press forward here however they please. Blue Shift maybe going for another ulti proc just to be able to get in and get the stun off. Is trying to find Kiona. It's a nice knock up. Jimothy comes back into the fight, goes immune, but Blue Shift has already got the reset, has got the pick, and the Pop Blossom is just icing on top of the cake. Rocket able to trade out for one, but that's the only player on the enemy team that you can kill if you are this Fiora right now. And Kayle is running it down the mid lane, has understood that her team is in perfect position to win the game, and is just going to bring the wave, kill the inhibs, kill the Nexus turrets. I mean, Jimothy not going to have an angle to recall. Rocket will, but we've seen Rocket versus Twin Flame in the solo time and time again, and it has not paid out in favor of this Fiora. But may be able to stall the end just a little bit for now.
Oh?
Jimothy, with the needlework coming back online in the nick of time, finds that enemy support.
Man is unstoppable for a reason. Meanwhile, Twin Flame coming by, try to complete that blue flame combo here as the Gwen tries to channel that recall, tries to get back to base here. Should be able to finish up that Zhonya's pretty dang soon. There it is. But, I mean, the Gwen does so much damage, but at this point, you have to avoid letting your carries get reset on by that Viego. 11-0 from Blue Shift on this Viego. And I mean, some of these might kind of feel like, you know, they're just taking the kills right at the end, you know, looking for the reset. But 11-0 on Viego is nothing to scoff at.
Might make it 12-0 here, as Rocket's going to get caught out in the top side once again. Oh, the ultimate committed, but not. Oh, good parry, but Blue Shift able to pick up that one.
Yeah, and this time, the wave in a much better position for the side of Novasphere. This is actually a doable push, but once again, you know, trying to take care of the waves, you know, Doga just going to continue to annoy the hell out of Novasphere, trying to make sure as little can happen as possible. Oh my god.
Yeah, Jimothy putting in their best snip work possible. They're gonna send their carry, the top lane carry, Novasphere, in to respond to this split push from the jungler. You know, Twin Flame gonna keep running down that Gwen, and now, you know, they're still looking for an angle to get Nova. They're looking for an angle to end, and right now the bot wave is the only one inside, so I'm not gonna be able to find that one. Jimothy may be able to have a bit of a cutoff angle here. He's not gonna be able to get in and get this dragon.
Yeah, I think Jimothy right now is just walking straight into that base, going to try to clear out this wave in the mid lane, and then maybe if he greeds out, look for that inhib. But you know, for now, just going to be content with shoving out that wave and making sure that there's nothing that Novasphere can do off of that dragon take.
At this point, this is all you really can do. Is there really anything left in Doga's pocket, though? I mean, maybe 5th item on Gwen, maybe 5th item on this Talia. Tristana's about to start falling off pretty hard. We'll soon have the 4th item. Like, is there really anything that Doga could be looking forward to potentially turn the tide of this game?
At this point, you just need Novasphere. If you're Doga, you need Novasphere to mess up once, right? Whether that's a force error, a standard error, who cares? The point is that one team fight could instantly end the game. You've got Fiora, you've got Tristana, you have so much tower taking, so you have to be ready for it at all times. Meanwhile, walking up with 4, is that Hoshinoko? Oh no, that's Nico.
If they spot this, they will now. They could look for an engage. The enemy mid laner is not there. That's no pop loss, and that's a huge crucial ultimate gone. They're gonna send Rocket there to respond. I don't know if Rocket wins that 1v1 though. I mean, I guess eventually we'll find out. Twin Flame's gonna be TPing there, so not gonna be giving over the 1v1. And it's gonna get stopped though. The Magnet Storm comes out too, and it's a huge shutdown to the KO. The needlework. Hoshinoko is falling. Is Ignite ticking away? Will be able to live for now, but is it how much longer? They want to run down this support. They want to get the kill. It's Kiona coming up clutch with one of those onto the enemy AD carry. This could be an end game angle. No needlework for Jimothy though. Oh, they're not gonna find the recalling. It doesn't matter though, they're gonna shove out the waves. This is the angle that they've been looking for. This is Doga's opportunity to win the game. But do they have enough damage? Do they have the capabilities to win a team fight before Twin Flame comes back from spawn? It's a 4v2, make it a 4v3 on the Nexus turret. New North is going to eat a tower shot. 15 seconds until that topside carry will be back online. If you're going to do something, you've got to do it now if you are Doga. And you've got 7 seconds. They realize they do not have a chance.
Yeah, this time just going to be backing off here, trying to make sure that there's no response from the side of Novasphere here. And right now they're looking for a pick.
Oh, this isn't good. I don't like this out of Doga. I don't like this at all out of Doga.
In the meantime, mid inhibitor respawns for Doga, and bottom inhibitor the same. Novasphere and Doga now going toe to toe. So much gold just from that Kale death here that Doga now in a solid position. You know, that's 4-5 items for a lot of these carries.
Still no for the Tristana though, unfortunately, although she has not recalled. The Baron is going to go ahead and be started. You've got to be there right now if you're Doga, because Twin Flame does a ton of damage to that Baron. It's gone. You can't stop it. It is gone. It is gone, and now that gold lead that you were slowly but surely closing is about to just open again.
Yeah, but we're starting to hit the point of the game where the gold leads really don't mean that much, right? So Twin Flame now picks up the death cap, a huge pickup for the Kale here. But once again, if you get locked up in the same way that Twin Flame was in that last fight, it does not matter. There's not a single defensive item on this Kale. You have to be so careful with all of this positioning here. And now New North just needs to find that angle, needs to find that opportunity. The last time worked out with a flash shattering strike from the side of New York, getting immediately followed up on. But this time, no flash is available for the Rel here. But whether or not the man can make some magic happen is a different question entirely.
And they found Rocket, and this is going to be the fight, Anti. It's a big knockup on the Hoshinoko. Do they have the burst damage, though? Not nearly enough, but the support is already basically out of the fight. Is forced to potentially retreat. They're going to go for the bot inhibitor. Now Twin Flame's going to basically hit that with 3 autos, and it will fall. Bounty Hunter putting in work, chucking rocks left, right, and center, putting in as much damage as physically possible. Maybe they could stop the recalls here because Rocket is split pushing. They're unable to stop the recall from the absolute person you needed to stop it from. Rocket is not going to be able to find any value in this mid lane pressure now. But Elder Dragon will be back up line in about a minute. Yeah, Rocket is dead. Yeah, Rocket's dead. They needed to stop the recall of that Kale, but were unable to do so. Now they're going into a Elder Dragon fight, 5v4, and I don't think that they can remotely go anywhere near this, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's not just an Elder Dragon fight 5v4, it's an Elder Dragon fight with 40 seconds on one of their primary carries here, but Weaver's Wall.
It's just a little bit of a distraction, keep them from being able to retreat, I guess. I feel like we're just chucking ults at a problem right now, though. If we are Doga, we're going to see what's happening. Kiona is going to get caught out here. It's a big Pop Blossom. They're going to be a land on to 1, but Twin Flame I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, the fight is just happening. Everything is dying. Everything's getting blown up. There's not really much to say. Twin Flame is just one-shotting everything.
And just like that, Novasphere bouncing back in game number 2. I mean, Jimothy, the only one left to stand in their way here, as the man just cannot do it all. 5-1 on this Gwen. The moment Jimothy goes down, the rest of the team goes down with him, as Novasphere firing back in game number 2 with an absolute banger of a match here. And if that's what we saw for game number 2, I'm kind of scared to see just what we have in store for game number 3. But I mean, in the end, right? Doga they had us believing for a short moment, but Novasphere going to be playing it calm and collected and ending it all right at the end right there.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm shit too.
all alive. The devil's in the detail, anchored inside. Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going wrong like nonsense. Playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the wrong lead. All that will come, we're out up till dawn. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going wrong like nonsense. Playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me?
to. Some days
Oh.
I'm not myself.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And of course, these two teams would curse us with a game number 3 on our final week here, because as you know, league players like to do, they like to stay up all night gaming, but we don't particularly like to stay up all night when we have class tomorrow.
It's okay. I don't have class. Love y'all.
Be nice.
Anyway. Oh, that's rough, buddy. But either way, speaking of rough, Novasphere Gaming are going to be taking away the Rel pick here. Interesting. All right, so I mean, New North's Rel has been so unbelievably impactful. I'm kind of excited to see how New North does on a different champion. But the Jax and Mordekaiser once again going to be taken away from Twin Flame here. Varus going to be removed here. And you have to ban Smolder, right?
They didn't ban it last time and they beat them.
They didn't ban it the first time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't feel like Seraphine is more important than Smolder, but...
I mean,
well,
you know, Hoshino...
No, they didn't ban Senna this time. So
They did not ban Senna.
I think that's why they go for the Seraphine ban. So deny
I
that
think you take
following.
I think you take the Senna Kench here as the response to the Smolder, and that is the Xin Zhao. The Xin Zhao that Novasphere had banned every single game up until this point. So I think you have to take Xin Zhao and Rakan. Okay, I honestly don't hate this pick here, but it does open up Emilio. It does mean that, you know, you might leave the Senna open to be banned out in the second round of bans. The Trundle pick is honestly a pretty common counter pick into the Xin Zhao here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a support pick to round it out. It's going to be the Janna, another solid pick with the Smolder. You just need things to keep the Smolder alive for that late game.
I love Janna, and Novasphere has opted to take my hand in the caster bias here. You know, I love Janna. I can't say I love Smolder, but I love Janna. So, and I actually really love Trundle. So, you know, Novasphere, you know, all you have to do really, and you can't pick an Aphelios next, obviously, but, but yeah, I'm very weirded that we don't have a Xayah pick here. Maybe Kiona doesn't play it. Maybe they just.
I mean, honestly, I would dislike a Xayah pick here. There's very little in terms of all-in from the side of Novasphere, right? I mean, if Xayah hits ultimate, Trundle Pillar will still be slowing her, right? There's very little that Xayah can do in those conditions. So I am honestly fine with the Jinx. It worked out in that first game. Now the question is just how much all in are we going to be getting for this game number 3? We already see the Xin Zhao. We already see the Rakan. I would love to see a Nico pickup here, right? So not only do you deny it, you also manage to get extra follow-up. And speaking of follow-up, Hui, also another one of those picks that was getting banned in earlier games. So, you know, Doga getting access to a lot of the things that Novasphere was really scared of. But the trade-off is that your top laner might be in a little bit of trouble here as the outplay button mid laner gets picked up as Syndra. So right here, it's going to be the top lane counter picks once again. And Set picked up here. So now Doga are in a rough position. You can't just pick a beefy frontliner. And if you do, it has to be something that you play very heavily, very well around. And Gnar, interesting choice here. I honestly don't hate it into the Set, but you got to be really careful. We're going to be seeing a lot of jungle intervention early on in that top side.
Both these teams are telling me they want to end the game at 45 minutes. So we're gonna be here for a while, but this is the last map. So no matter what, somebody will come home a winner in this one. And do we have a standings update? We have yet to talk about that. So is there anything on the line here in this game?
I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head here, but I will say, right, the Set Gnar matchup, a particularly interesting one, right? It's really what I would consider a hard skill matchup, where if the Gnar is playing flawlessly. There's little that Set can do, but Gnar messes up once, Set kills the Gnar, and welcome to top lane. You die once, you die the rest of the laning phase. So we'll have to see just how things do unfold on the Rift itself. So we'll have to see where that one takes us here, as I do believe, Xin Zhao versus Trundle, Tail as old as time, Hui versus Syndra, a lot newer. I still don't know any of the names of Hui's ultimates. Well, not even ultimates, abilities. They might as well be ultimates. There's so many of them, and they're so impactful.
I've just checked the standings, and Dorado Gaming currently sitting at a comfortable 5-1 with a 10-2 map record, and Novasphere in 6th place with a 2-4 record and a 5-10 map record. So there's a bit on the line for Novasphere here. They could bump up into 5th place, maybe bump up and take the top 4 spot and make it into playoffs if Iceboard White lose. But for Dorado, even if they lose this game here, no matter what, they have the number 2 seed locked in, and so that's what's basically on the line here.
All right, makes sense. But either way, games just started, and Haruki already managing to get a little bit going in terms of stacks here. Meanwhile, Rocket really seems to like those Yordles, man. I mean, either you're a Yordle or you're French, right? Which way, Western man? As he's just gonna continue with the Yordle picks with very, very high, how do you call it? Team fighting control, right? Meanwhile, another one of those W's going to be able to get some stacks onto Kiona, and this is a very different picture from what we saw the first time, right? Instead of the same lanes that we saw before, and now we are going to be seeing the poke back onto Kiona.
Alrighty, I'm really interested to see how this top lane goes, especially with how top lane went last time. Doesn't seem like Blue Shift is going to be pathing towards the top side early on, but neither is Jimothy, so both these lanes may be looking to get some early bot side pressure online, or maybe they're just trying to opt for the first dragon, but we see that Kiona has opted for the call. It's going to be a safe laning phase. Not really much either of these two lanes can really do to go for a kill. I mean, I guess if you keep poking Kiona like that, eventually you can kill them, but we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the game pans out. I'm really looking at the mid lane though, because we have Syndra versus Hui, and we have Blue Shift running up to Rocket in the top side at level 3 again. Has Novasphere found the angle to shut down Doga? Is it literally just to punish this top laner and put them in the dirt?
Yeah, I don't know. There's really not that much that they can threaten onto the Gnar just yet. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we're getting some decent fights. This is a cold start, though, so I doubt that we're going to be able to see too much from the side of Doga in terms of kill pressure. That health pot still has not been running for Kiona, so for now, just trying to get this wave in the tower, trying to get a back off, trying to slowly control how this laning phase is going, as the Jinx is not nearly as strong as he was in that first game.
Yeah, at least. We still have a long ways to go and a lot of a lot of game left to be played. Rocket's going to be punched out of this wave. Twin Flame has the flash online to go for an easy all-in after hitting level 4 here. Might be actually looking for it. The flash pull, is not going to go for that limit test on the Rocket just yet. Now, we see Blue Shift has positioned towards that bot side. Could potentially be looking for some cheeky little gank here, but Jimothy is going to be in the area. We've seen a repeat of this kind of before. The bot lane prio is in Doga's favor, so they could go for the first dragon. I mean, we've also seen this before, as back is going to be channeled from Alex here. Maybe Rocket able to find the first kill, but the flash from Twin Flame is able to find first blood onto Rocket once again. And at some point, you've got to be wondering how Rocket is going to bounce back, or have they truly bounced back after how second game went?
Yeah, I mean, right there, that flash was incredible from Twin Flames. A pure response to the flash from Rocket, just making sure that that W does land there. Now, with the tier 2 boots, is going to be able to threaten this Gnar so much more and has the teleport advantage. Meanwhile, Jimothy trying to make something happen.
Finds the Janna. It's a grand entrance, but it gets knocked up from the tornado, but the Ignite is able to help clean up that one. Maybe they find the pick on the Haruki. No, both W's missed from Jimothy and Kiona, so they're not able to clean up that one, but they should be able to clean up the first dragon of the game that will be traded out for Void Grubs by Blue Shift from the top side.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rocket struggling quite a bit here. Does have the CS lead, but, I mean, once this wave pushes on in, Twin Flame should be doing just fine. And, I mean, that first blood, right? The last time we saw the first blood, it was because Rocket overstepped with the tower dive here. But this time, Twin Flame just earned that 1v1 all on his own there. As right here, Rocket just going to understand, hey, Trundle's around here again. I don't have flash. I got to be a little bit careful. Not going to be able to get that siege there, and definitely hurting for it.
See, Dragon just now does get finished out, and Wei might lose a little bit off of that, having to come down to help out Jimothy in the jungle before he ended up falling to the Dragon. Will find an angle to be able to get back in and start pushing back. Already has Lost Chapter online too, so coming up huge in the farm department. Bounty Hunter, see if they can come up huge later on in the damage department too, as we've seen Hui ultimates. I mean, just last week we saw Hui nearly 1v5, so it's definitely possible. Syndra scaling though is nothing to be, well, is something to be scared of, as Hoshinoko putting a lot of damage onto Kiona again, and is timing these tornadoes to stop Nunor from being able to get the grand entrances off almost perfectly. Blue Shift is on those Krugs, might look for a bit of a invade angle, maybe going for a gank, but no, this bot lane of Doga, they should be aware they're going to roam, get a little bit of vision. Nunor might be caught out. Nope, is going to live just fine.
Yeah, and there's so much action back and forth again and again, but this could be big.
It's a good grand entrance. Kiona with the peel to help out the AD carry. This is why we do not face check bushes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but, I mean, in the end, there's very little Trundle can do in terms of forcing a gank, right? Especially for a bot lane like Janna Smolder, right? I mean, Janna doesn't have Glacial, so there's basically no chance for them to actually get a meaningful gank off. But the counter ganks is where the Trundle's really going to be shining. And, Blue Shift has shown again and again that they have a very good understanding of where it is that Jimothy wants to be. But that being said, Jimothy has been doing incredible in the jungle. We saw that Gwen game, the Xin Zhao game already up an assist in 10 farm here is, once again, Blue Shift trying to make things happen. That's not what you do on Trundle. You're just there to make sure nothing happens.
Yeah, Blue Shift trying to punish this top laner just like last game where they found that winning angle in putting their top side ahead so far. Rocket probably is aware that that's what their game plan is going to be this game too, and is going to be up to them to make those adjustments and adapt to be able to live out this time. Jimothy will get spotted by Hoshinoko, but Bounty Hunter is there and is able to help secure a red buff steal, leaving Kiona just farm their own accords. I mean, it's got a cannon main wave under the tower already, so I feel like they are sitting pretty fine with a 20 CS lead. This is looking, onto Bounty Hunter, the unstopped power, not choosing to come out just yet, but the Flash
Ghost
might need to. There it goes. Flash finally online. New North gets a grand entrance this time, should get the kill over to Jimothy, but does not. Actually ends up stealing that one himself, and it's going to be a slam onto Rocket into the wall. Pillar comes down. Rocket, don't think you're living out this time around. Blue Shift finally found another angle to slay that top laner of Doga.
Yeah, and you can see right there, Rocket's just gonna hold on to that flash. Thought, maybe I can live for just a little bit longer. Maybe, I can just wait on my E to get on out of here. But in the end, it is going to be Twin Flame and Blue Shift, the dynamic duo, once again getting themselves ahead here. So, Set, very, very powerful champion once he has a lead. And once again, right, welcome to top lane. You die once in the laning phase, you die for the rest of the laning phase.
Yeah, essentially what it be is like. Tiamat will be picked up for Jimothy though. Another small door coming down. It's a good chunk onto Kiona, but I think it's another one of those ones where he's just trying to hit the wave so it can bounce back and force Kiona to be able to, to recall back to base.
That's all right. I'm gonna rant a little bit. Smolder ultimate is not okay. That ability is way too low cooldown for what it is, because it just does so much damage to the wave. Like, it's just solid at clearing from super far away, and instead it's somehow still relatively low cooldown enough that you can use it right before a big fight and you'll probably still have it up, right? I mean, that ultimate is most definitely not going to be up in time for this dragon, but it's not going to be unheard of for them to be able to delay a long enough time for the dragon to come in. But either way, Hoshinoko, dragging their feet here, needs to flash on out.
And going into a dragon fight here, it's looking really all Doga, as the enemy support will not have that cooldown. I mean, Smolder is literally just another Lux, man. You recall, you come back, you ult the wave, you push it, you roam, you recall, you come back, you ult the wave, you push it. That's basically what you do on Lux. Speaking about things people do, Pocket once, or Rocket, I don't know why I said Pocket, maybe found once again in a 2v1 in the top side. This Blue Shift is showing up again and again and again, just flashing the emote, because I mean, what else can you do when you're getting camped 2 games in a row? But luckily, on the other side of the map, Rocket's bot lane is ahead of the enemy, already having that Kraken Slayer online. The Luden's Companion for the way too, as just now Syndra has picked up a lost chapter. This Doga team is sitting pretty solid with 2 dragons in their pocket as well. Rocket doesn't really have to do anything except for TP with Mega Narbar. And we know that heal came in clutch for Hoshinoko. If they did not have that, they were dying.
Yeah, absolutely. Janna just barely going to be able to survive. No Monsoon needed either. Meanwhile, Haruki gonna get locked up here.
It's gonna force a TP out there because they see Blue Shift, and it might be New North falling, but Kiona has the reset. Alex gets a little bit of a TP in as well. This could be a shutdown onto Kiona. The Ghost isn't enough movement speed. It's not likely. Double kill for Blue Shift. This jungler is putting in work left, right, and center for this Novasphere gaming team. Like, if they end up coming out on top, it feels like we have got to give them the MVP vote for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, right, Trundle's job in this game isn't to make things happen, it's to keep things from happening and to punish people who try to make things happen. Meanwhile, speaking of making things happen, Jimothy getting flashed on, and there is no shot that Shinzao gets on out of here.
Not likely at all, as Alex will be able to clean that one up with the unstop power. Flash will be back online for the mid laner too, so maybe he was just trying to get a little bit of a cheeky kill before that one ended up happening, but it feels like Doga had a very early lead, and now it's starting to turn the tide a little bit.
Yeah, but, 5 kills to 3 does not necessarily mean a gold lead. You look at that gold lead, you see, hey, there were 6 Void Grubs taken from the side of Novasphere, but if you can't get onto the towers, how much do those Void Grubs really mean? In the meantime, there are 2 dragons just constantly putting out that value for the side of Doga. Meanwhile, Kiona once again in the 2v1.
Yep, is going to get knocked up from the tornado, is putting in work. The Smolder ultimate, that's a ton of damage. Kiona putting in, like, a good amount of pressure, but without New North there, you can't win that. And now New North's going to be late to the fight. Kiona's going to be a quarter of HP, have the Super Mega Death Rocket online, so New North can go for an engage, but, like, Kiona will die if they try to go for a fight here, so, and that's what Haruki and Hoshinoko should be able to recognize here. And, that's just going to go back to a little bit of a farming accords as I say that Haruki. Oh, Jimothy barely out of range. The Monsoon comes out, so they're at least able to trade 1 for their troubles. But it did not go to the 80 carry of Kiona.
Yeah, and in the meantime, You know, Kiona, this was exactly what we saw in the Jinx last time, right? Where Jinx was getting ahead, but not through kills. You know, the gold is very efficiently spread around the team. It's going over to the jungler, it's going over to the support, and once again, the Jinx is going to be able to get all that farm off of the waves and off of these tower plates, right? So, you know, not only does it keep your Jinx in a spot where she can do a decent bit of damage, also, Kiona doesn't have to worry about having a bounty. But, you know, that being said, obviously, you kind of want your AD carry to have enough gold to have a bounty.
It's true. It's a blessing and a curse. It means you have a target on your back, but I mean, you're playing AD carry, so you always have a target on your back.
Oh.
It's an insane pull from Twin Flames into the slam. No Narbor online. You see Rocket desperately trying to peel, and look who's coming. As per usual, Blue Shift is there. The minion wave aggro may be able to get the Mega Narbor. Will it be in time, though? It will barely, but it's not enough to help Rocket live. Hwei maybe trying to roam up. Maybe he's trying to run to Jimothy. It's a huge stun. Jimothy, stop channeling the recall and help your top laner. He's desperately peeling to you, and you're absolutely just laughing in his face.
And just like that, I don't know what's going on between Jimothy and Rocket, but either way, you know, the call is leave the Gnar to die as Rocket goes down a third time. I honestly think if Jimothy just walks up and ults the two away, Rocket manages to get on out of there, but in the meantime, Twin Flame gets a little bit of solo time with the 6-stack Void Grubs on this top tower here. Should be a guaranteed first tower, as in the bot side, it is going to be the chance at Soul Point for the side of Doga.
And I mean, this is pretty good. The Rift Herald has been traded out, though, in return for Novasphere, who arguably is making a little bit of the better macro plays across the map right now, shutting down Rocket on this top laner. I mean, Gnar's only going to have that Infinity Edge, probably has to build in a tank items for the rest of the game at this point. A Fed set is pretty scary, and so definitely is a Fed Trundle. So it's going to really come down to probably one, maybe two team fights here. I expect Novasphere to start opting for dragon stacking now, as they didn't really need it into the early game, because now their split push potential is just, you have to respond to it, and that Rift Herald is going to help. As I mean, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm speaking on loop here.
Yeah, I mean, you can see right here, they really don't like Rocket. What in the world? I mean, I don't know what's up with that, but this one feels personal almost. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we're just going to continue to get New North and Kiona just farming up, getting super, super strong. And this Smolder is what you want to be doing well for the side of Novasphere. But oh my god, another dive.
It's a good charm on Haruki. They've got to kill this ADC before the TP comes out, as Twin Flame is coming in. No slam online, though. So no ulti on that set, in the way damage. The ultimate, it's not enough. The shield will eventually burst down the unleashed power and a bounty hunter, but he has the flash to be able to get away in the nick of time. I think he's going to get an engage on Alex, but Alex is forced to flash over the wall, and now Rocket is coming in with the TP, but no Narbor means you are essentially an 80 carry Yordle with no HP. It's a triple pull into the Smolder ultimate, but is that going to be enough as the punch? The damage. Rocket will fall once again. Hwei is able to find two off of, I don't even know what the ability is called at this point in the game, but Kiona is going crazy with those assists as the attack speed. They should not be able to trade out onto the tower, though, but they may be able to find Blue Shift if Hwei can land another ability, but is not going to be able to. The root does come down onto Hoshinoka, but it doesn't really amount to much of anything. That was a huge team fight win for Doga. They got 2 kills on arguably their second carry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even arguable at this point. It is their main carry, Bounty Hunter, now with 2 kills, 2 items fully completed. Now going to be looking to make a statement with this Hwei. So much damage that this champion can put out now with both the Leandries and the Ludens. So should be able to do a ton of damage to not only the squishies, but also the tanks, who are mostly just stacking health. There's not so much in terms of the magic resist. I know that Blue Shift is slowly building up towards that Wit's End, which definitely a powerful item, but it's not like Kiona doesn't do damage. This Jinx is allowed to free hit in so many of these fights. You got to be careful. Meanwhile, Haruki is just gonna continue to stack up, continue to look for that coveted 225. Can we get a stack check for Haruki right now, actually?
Yeah,
As you know, this. All right, there
That's
we go.
more than last time we were at 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean 192. That's not bad. That's actually very close. But
happened last time. It's an invade on the blue ship. Sport to flash away, but there is New North right in behind them with the quickness. With the grand engine. It's a big shutdown, but it's a huge scatter of the week. That Syndra damage is not to be frightened upon. It's a shutdown onto the way after the unstoppable power, and the Smolder ult comes down. It gets booped off the Monsoon into Kiona. They should be able to get the shutdown onto the 80 carrier, maybe try and trade out with Alex, but it's a double kill for the Syndra. This mid lane back and forth damage is what is going to turn both of these games. With only a minute till the dragon comes online, Rocket may be able to trade out a top lane turret here, but nothing will mainly come up of that fight win for Novasphere except for a shutdown onto away, and I don't even think that Kiona had a shutdown yet.
yeah, I don't think Kiona quite had a shutdown just yet, but in the meantime, Rocket going to continue to be as useful as possible as you can be on a 0 and 5 Gnar, right? I mean, after taking out that tower, Doga still retain a gold lead here, but it is going to be the tower trade. Twin Flame, so much damage on this tower with those two items. No Sheen needed in order to match things.
And Alex has opted for the Rabadon second item, and after how that fight went, I don't blame them. Jinx is going to have 2 items plus a BF sword online, so there's a ton of 80 in the pocket of the 80 carry of Doga. And I'm really looking at how Bounty Hunter is going to play out in this fight. It's going to be a grand entrance, knock up on the Twin Flame. Maybe they want to take that top lane carry out of the fight instantly. It's a double root up off of the Hue util, a triple root up. The Rift Herald will be spawned. It will be going towards the bot lane. I don't think that really Doga cares about that though. But only ultimate that has been used so far is Jimothy Rocket. Has the Narbar form online now, but no TP.
No TP.
And it's not up for a good chunk of time either. The dragon has already been bursted down. Kiona may be looking for a super mega death rocket burst damage engage here. This bounty hunter is extremely weak and he does the brunt force of damage for Doga. They might have to go ahead and give this one over. They're not going to be finding soul point here just yet. But meanwhile, look at this top side. Rocket finding angles to be at least useful for the team. Taking that top lane tier 2. Maybe they can funnel this into a bot side or mid side tier 2 with Kiona on the 80 carry. But I highly doubt that because they do not have the wave there just yet, and the recalls are there. It could. I wouldn't opt to go for the Baron either, so it's just going to be everybody back to base after a botched objective fight.
Yeah, I mean, you do your best to stall out the dragon so that way your top laner can get as much done as possible. And Rocket going to be feeling good about that one, you know? Now sitting on 2 items that allow him to be super fast, should be able to kite out the set as long as there is none of that stride breaker action, right? As long as you can stay just barely out of that stride breaker range, Rocket should be more than fine with kiting this one out here. So despite being 0-5, definitely someone to be paying attention to in these fights. Next one of these fights, Rocket will have access to the teleport, so we could be seeing that Narbar ulti in that back line off of a huge flank, you know, just picking up those Nestle crunch bars, you know, slamming the entire team into the wall here. But New North should be more than fine. Just gonna hop on out to safety. Meanwhile, ooh, that's a big turning point for Haruki there.
Spear of Shojin comes online. However, Kiona has the gold advantage in this ADC bot side fight. She should hit 3rd item before the Smolder gets close to finishing 3rd item. And that is going to be the go for Doga in their team fights, as Rocket's going to get absolutely obliterated. It's a huge... Okay, this is value. This is not bad. Alex may be able to find the pick on the Rocket. The unstopped power comes out and doesn't get the kill. It's a grand entrance knock up. and Twin Flame is a quarter of HP. Kiona's just gonna keep chucking them down with those W's. And Bounty Hunter, it's a flash in, but he's able to flash out. Smolder comes down as Jimothy. Monsoon plus Jimothy's push. All these players are getting knocked away first, and Twin Flame does fall. Hue is still alive and in the fight and has a ton of HP, and Kiona is getting ramped up with that attack speed, but it's slowly taking down. Rocket has the TP, but no Gnar bar, so no point in TPing into the fight this time around. Maybe Bounty Hunter wants to look to stop some sort of recalls, but they have shown that this top laner at Twin Flame can bleed.
Yeah, I mean, Rocket right there. I do also have to note here, right? So Twin Flame going down in that fight to Kiona and Bounty Hunter. Meanwhile, Rocket not only manages to get the flash out of Alex, also manages to hold on to his own flash on top of all of that, right? So now Gnar still has access to Gnar bar, still has access to ultimate, teleport, and still has the ability to flash into that backline and make these plays possible. And as we've seen, the man knows how to play the Gnar, right? I mean, that was nearly a full kill from Rocket onto Alex, despite so much of a difference in the gold on both of these players.
And Alex is soon to be hitting a power spike too, and that's what I'm starting to get scared of. But the Infinity Edge has been finished on Kiona, and now I want to see Doga fight. I want you to fight them. Go and fight them. Find an angle, go and fight them, get Kiona kills, get them ramped up, get that attack speed, and absolutely just decimate, because you will not have this advantage for much longer. The Syndra has finished her third item, and the Smolder is still consistently stacking for that 225 buff. So I need to see Doga force a fight somehow, somewhere, whether it be a Baron flip or something, and win that team fight while they have the advantage.
Yeah, and right here you can see Hoshinoko just trying to scout things out with Blue Shift. I mean, this is exactly what you want to be seeing, right? The jungler and support, the dynamic duo just gonna walk. Oh, Monsoon gonna get clicked here.
That is unfortunate, but Jimothy might have a little bit more unfortunate, trying to trade out onto the support, but is not able to fight it yet, but he's going to get a knock up. New North going in on the support. Maybe Rocket is able to clean it up, has the Mega Knock, he's going to slam it to the wall. It's a double kill so far for Doga. Rocket will end up falling, but it's traded out from Bounty Hunter, who finds the ability onto the Syndra and shuts them down. Is Twin Flame with the true damage punch, able to trade that one out 1-for-1, and Smolder out of Haruki is putting in work too, but that W will get flashed away, and now they're just gonna let the Smolder run by because it has no HP, it has no value. Jimothy can go over the wall if they ever so please to. It almost kills them with the W, has the movement speed. Maybe they can run down the Smolder, get the clean ace, but no, Hoshinoko will be spawning, so it's a huge team fight win. They pick up the Infernal Soul, and Doga is starting to come back online like we know them before.
Yeah, I mean, Kiona's Jinx is something that is to be feared. We've seen this time and time and time again. There's a reason they leave that Smolder open. There's a reason why this Jinx has so much priority on it. I mean, I think this is totally fine. The Jinx does so much damage. There's no chance in hell at a steal here.
I don't like this, Anti. I don't like this, but they're going to turn onto Blue Shift. Kiona, it will fall, gets bitten, the shutdown into the pocket of the Trundle. They're looking to go onto Jimothy now, who has to pop the ultimate in the middle of 4. He's going to be able to boot them away, and it's another unstopped power unleashed onto the jungler. Jimothy will fall. That's 2 shutdowns into the pocket of Novasphere Gaming, and now they're going to look to turn the Baron onto themselves.
Oh my god, I know you were saying you didn't like it. I was saying I thought it was fine, but I mean, right there, Bounty Hunter going to be teleporting in a little bit further than the team needed, and right now this could be disastrous of a Baron turn here, but oh!
It does get picked up. Twin Flame should be able to find Rocket basically for free here. And, I mean, you had the advantage and you just 3-point shot it in the bin.
Woo, baby. League of Legends. Yeah, but either way, you know, Baron does so much for Novasphere here. It's essentially the only way they're going to be able to crack this mid tower against Doga. And with the, oh my god, with the objective bounties on top of that, it gets so much more difficult here. I mean, now, Novasphere are going to be picking up a full-on lead after that fight here, as Kiona still building towards that Lord Dominic's. But until you get to that point, it's so difficult to see the Jinx's damage into some of these super high health stacking targets.
I agree. I mean, the game is not over yet. Just gonna, show their presence, stop that back a little bit. They still have an Infernal Soul, so in the 5v5s, they should, keyword should, hold the bit of the advantage. But this Syndrome of Alex is starting to prove that it's not going to be easy, as she is absolutely carrying. I mean, we were talking about Twin Flame and Blue Shift all game, but in these team fights, it's really been Syndra coming up left, right, and center for this Novasphere gaming team, as well as Bounty Hunter and Kiona on the other side for Doga.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Infernal Soul should be a terrifying prospect to deal with for the side of Novasphere. I mean, one of these Jinx autos will do so much damage. I mean, it's AoE on AoE on AoE, right? That's one of the things we know and love about Jinx. And look at this poke. Not too much because it's going to be getting shielded out for now, but you blink and you miss that health bar.
You were saying.
Oh my lord. These teams are just intent on making me a liar at all times.
Hey, me too. I mean, everyone probably considers I'm a liar because, I have crazy hot takes and I like things, I don't like things, and I stand my ground on when I like things, I don't like things. But, who knows what we will see. We have no objectives up for about 2 minutes where the first Elder will be spawning. We're approaching that 35-minute mark into the game, and now it is Novasphere looking to run down the mid lane of the match. They want to take this mid tier 2 if at all possible. I don't think that Doga is going to let it go for free without a fight. Rocket is going to be roaming in as well, has the Mega Narc. Now they need to fight if they want to go. Comes over the wall. Not able to find much of anything. Does land out a stun. The way damage is going in, but the smolder damage is a little bit more in combination with Alex. Pops the unstoppable power to get the slay onto Rocket. Now with Trundle and the Baron buff and the Void Grubs, they should be able to take that tower basically for free. It's a flash forward out of Alex, and the way damage of the Super Mega Death Rocket. Kiona is going forward, putting in tons of rocket power. And will they be able to clean up, though? The movement speed is there for Novasphere and not there for Doga, but they were at least able to trade out 1 for 2.
At this point, the question is, how much longer do they still have the Baron? Do they have the Baron buff recalls? No, they don't. So Kiona and Co are going to be able to run straight down this mid lane unless they get distracted by the side quest here. Instead, just going to be picking up a little bit of the jungle camps here, not going to be hard committing for these towers, understanding just how bad it could get if you find yourself a little bit too far. So these two, Kiona and Bounty Hunter, are just going to be walking on out of here until that Elder begins to spawn in 40 seconds.
Yeah, and I think a big part of these fights, that's why it's not really sided towards Doga. Hwei does not have that Rabadon's online compared to where Alex already does. Built its second item early into the game and is making great use of it right now. Hwei did get a couple shutdowns, I want to say there, so Bounty Hunter might have the Rabadons finished here. I doubt it. It does not. Only the 2 needlessly large
Not
bonds.
quite.
Not quite. Still needs about 800 more gold. But that 800 more gold is not going to come to you in 9 seconds. So this Elder Dragon is crucial for both of these teams. Which mid laner, honestly, is what it's coming down to. Which mid laner is going to come up big for their squad here? As, Rocket has got to go to the wave in order to get the Mar Bar farm, and it's going to be Alex coming up for his team first.
And just like that, there is no chance for Doga to take this Elder Dragon, as Novasphere right now in a decent position, but Doga respond by going straight to the base. Here we go, 2 more autos on this tower, and Kiona is scot-free as
Not
the team
yet,
continues the push.
The
Oh
dodge
my
out
lord.
the Smolder ultimate splash
What?
forward on a blue shift. The W ends up missing. The way ult comes down onto the Drundle, but it's not nearly enough damage. Gonna be able to stun up Twin Flame there. Has the slam online, might be able to look for it, and that is way damage. And a super mega death rocket. I don't know if Novasphere wants to fight this. They've got that Elder Dragon buff, but it might not nearly be enough. Twin Flame is eating the brunt of everything that Doga has to offer. The kitchen sink, the couch, the frying pan, the cast iron, the grandma's recliner is all getting thrown at Twin Flame, and it does not matter.
Yeah, and in the end, the Baron is here, though. I mean, the Elder definitely makes it difficult for Doga to fight this, but God, are they doing their best to fight it? Rocket right now,
Just
just desperately
Bounty
looking
Hunter's ulti again.
for that ultimate. All right, but they're not going to coin flip it on the Baron seal. Instead, just going to say, you know what? We were able to turtle through it once. We can do it one more time here. And now Kiona sitting on 4.5 items. This Jinx is the focal point here. And Bounty Hunter now with the Rabadons as well. Another opportunity for this team to shine here. Meanwhile, Verdant Barrier built up for Alex, so we might be seeing the Syndra live a little bit longer than before, but it's really just offensive items at this point for the side of Novasphere, while Doga just got some huge damage spikes.
Yeah, they got that Rabadons online, approaching 4 items on this Jin Zhao. Inar's a little bit far behind, but has the Thorn Mail to negate as much AD that will be coming in. But the Smolder on the other side, I mean, we don't even have to check it at this point. We're pretty sure that he's at 225 stacks. So it really doesn't really matter what you build at this point when Alex chucks that much damage at you.
Yeah, I guess so, but I mean, this Elder can only survive for so much longer here, as Haruki not going to be able to get a full-on kill there, but, definitely playing with fire here.
100%. Rocket also playing a little bit with fire there. But they, Rocket, the Empire is about to strike back on you, and you need to retreat. It's a trap. It's a trap, Rocket. It's a trap. Don't. Rocket, it's a trap.
Rocket?
Rocket, no. Rocket bit. Rocket not dead. Rocket finally dead. And that's a great quickness grand entrance, and it won't really be nearly enough. Bounty Hunter able to find an ulti on the Alex. Isn't enough damage. Oh, that was an arcane comment. And that is a super mega death rocket coming down. Now Doga are feeling like they can put their foot onto the gas. The Smolder ultimate, I mean, I think we've seen that thing only hit one time this entire game, but it does not matter.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Rocket once again gonna be taken down by the side of Novasphere, but as we've seen before, Doga don't necessarily need Rocket's damage in order to win these fights. That's a lot that gets fully committed onto the Gnar there, and Rocket says, you know what? Fine, we'll take that. I'm going to survive as long as possible. You can see how he's just picking up more and more resist, more and more tankiness, so that way all of this focus just goes to naught, right? Meanwhile, Kiona now super close to finishing that last item. It's likely going to be either a rapid fire cannon or a bloodthirster. Might even, if you're feeling a little bit scared, could even be the shield bow. So right now, Kiona still just trying to find a way. No, we're fine. We're fine.
Okay. I was about to say that's one way to win the game. Just make Alex disconnect.
I mean, you get the homie disconnect, right, from Bounty Hunter. Meantime, Twin Flame.
May not be caught out as the reinforcements is there. Kiona has fallen. Haruki, I mean, that's why we don't play the game till 40 minutes, because that is what Smolder can do. And Haruki is starting to make Doga regret not banning it. And now they have an angle that they can go ahead and run down the mid lane. No, about a minute until that 80 carry will be back online, so they don't feel like there's really a threat to them whatsoever, as Rocket and New Earth will finally be recalling to base. Blue Shift eating a good bit of turret shots, but not really much is going to come up with that. And Bounty Hunter, you're going to have to come up big. Your team needs you, and this is your time to shine. the game is in your hands, and it rightfully should be, as Blue Chip's going to go ahead and force that recall before going into this Elder Dragon fight. So that's actually going to buy time for Kiona to be able to respawn. Oh, maybe not, actually.
I mean, Elder Drag's still coming up in 30 seconds, so, just going to be pushing down this mid lane as Novasphere do not want anything to do with Doga before they've backed. We're walking in 4 strong, trying to make something happen. You can see almost no fear from the side of Hoshinoko. But right here, Doga, now the one with the inside track on the Elder Drag. This could be big, but Narbar slowly running on out.
Oh, that's way ultimate onto the Janna, and it's gone. The Super Mega Deathlock has helped get that execute. The support player is fallen for the side of Novasphere, but does that matter? Because Haruki is still alive and kicking. Twin Flames is still alive and kicking and has that flank. Red team has gotten the Elder Dragon, and that's way with an Elder Dragon. It's not looking good. It's a double pull-in on the Twin Flame. It has to pop out that punch, just get a little bit of a shield. Timothy's going to go forward and be able to find Alex. Is this the angle that Doga needed? It's a TP coming out of Rocket. Gotta keep them from being able to push in this wave. Haruki,
oh my god!
3! Haruki may be able to find 4. This Smolder just took away 3 Elder Dragon buffs. I can't anti. This game is gonna go till 50 minutes.
Oh god. Haruki right now looking for another!
5! He killed 4!
Oh,
this champion is not
god.
balanced, Riot. Twin Flame going forward onto the Nexus turrets. I mean, who's going to stop him? Jimothy getting question mark pinged. The set, he's going to be 1-2. I'm coming to defeat you, Doga. You can't really stop him. You can try to kill him, but you're not going to be able to. And he will finally end the game. Novasphere have defeated Dorado Gaming in a... I'm tired.
Yeah, I mean, in a ridiculously close 2-1 there. Novasphere going to be able to take it. I mean, Dorado, I don't really know what to say here. There was a few back and forths here in terms of, is this the right play in terms of the draft, right? But right there, that's not just a draft moment, right? That right there is Novasphere understanding what it is that they can play around, what it is that they can exploit, and executing flawlessly. The Smolder gets online, and that was looking so good. You had Elder on 5. All of a sudden, Smolder turns around, hits Q. Congratulations, you've played yourself. Smolder has Elder on Q. So just like that, a game that looks like it was turning around goes in the favor of Novasphere Gaming. And this was the last week, but this was definitely the craziest one we've had so far. So thanks everyone for tuning in here. And once again, thank you to our sponsors like ProComps to just help make everything happen. Either way, I'm glad to have been able to spend this cast with you, Cilantro.
Oh, we still have playoffs.
We're
not going anywhere.
This cast. Can I not thank you for this cast? My bad.
Not until we're done.
Okay. Well, I take it back
Job's
then.
not finished.
Okay, fine. Then is just only thank you to Loki Bear. You take care.
No. Loki Bear gets a 2-star Yelp review.
What?
Give me Chris back.
Oh boy. But either way, thanks everyone for tuning in this week, and we'll be back in the future with playoffs. And if it's anything like this is a crazy moment.
If it's anything like this, Dorado needs to sort out their top lane scandal. I think that Novasphere just leaked how to beat Dorado Gaming, and they need to fix that ASAP. Flex Seal.
All right. Well, y'all take care. See ya.
was wrong to say. I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass. Time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile.
Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself, there's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past.